Limps is not falling for the bait. He comes back onto the rogue and in line of sight of Houston. And now he's just attacking Waz, trying to bait maybe a Cloak of Shadows here. Houston's lobbing in Lava Burst, but now they swap to Limps as Mercy ports away. Gouged out at the end of the stuns into a clone. I love that change. Just stun the Demon Hunter 3 times, gouge him, and then safely clone him and take him out of the match for like 10 plus seconds at that point. Houston's in a polymorph now, and Mercy is in trouble. They can't afford to lose the swing match. He's dying through unending resolve. Lone Tar is looking for a Cyclone as well. If he gets one here, it could be game breaking. Raikou knocks Houston behind the pillar. Ice Nova's him out of line of sight. Mercy ports back to his side though. Static Field is down. They sneak in a fear on Lone Tar, and it looks like they've faked an interrupt. Mercy has precog. He's Chaos Bolting Lone Tar. It looks like they want to swap to him, but he's in bear form. He's bolstered his defense. Nice coil on the kidney shot from Mercy. Looking for spam fears. They force Iron Bark and Bark Skin on this counter assault from Chibaku.
Yeah, and they're all kind of stacked up on the pillar right now. This aggressive play here from Echo seems to be working out for the time being. Gouge here onto Houston. Mercy once again taking a huge hit of damage. He can always portal away though, and we have a stun on Lone Tar. Potential fear. Waz in so much trouble. He traded out his Cloak of Shadows aggressively, and now Raikou getting swapped to. Lightning Lasso lands. Mercy lands one Chaos Bolt. Second is interrupted. Raikou now going for an Arcane Surge. They have a lot of damage, but Mercy's just going to portal away behind the pillar with Houston and should easily be topped off here. But Raikou has a lot of damage available. Mercy just spam fearing him and denying all of that Arcane Surge. Unfortunate, but Echo still has pressure. This gouge on Houston. Mercy's down to about 50% health. Cheap Shot follows it up. Mercy in a bit of trouble here, but Raikou getting stunned up as Limps is trying to create some pressure for his team, and it's really dangerous when you push in, when you're Lone Tar, when you're Waz. Big setup here onto Lone Tar. He needs to be careful. Echo's playing this very aggressively, but this can backfire against the Demon Hunter.
Pre-Healing Tide on the Cheap Shot here. They need to kill that Healing Tide. Waz sees it, I think, and he's trying to finish it. Healing Tide has been finished. They Dark Pack, but Limps is in a clone. Houston's in a poly. Mercy looks like maybe his pet is down right now. Did he not sack it? Oh, he did just sack it right there. Observer's down. Raikou needs to be careful of that Observer, and Raikou's going to blink behind the pillar, shifting power. Limps eventually retreats back to Waz. Swap on a Lightning Lasso. Anytime the mage completely retreats, they set up this Lightning Lasso swap to bait hots from Lone Tar and get pressure and burn his mana further. Chaos Bolt incoming. Doesn't look like they have a stop. Massive damage incoming. Full fear. Lone Tar trinkets. Can they get a fear on the trinket? They Iron Bark Waz, and now that Iron Bark won't be available for Raikou, but Mercy is under pressure. Waz is pushing in. He's pushing in with limited defense though, and Lone Tar actually gets caught in a coil. Big swap onto Lone Tar. Do they have the stun to finish him? It doesn't look like it at this point, but he's just dying anyways. They're absolutely crushing Lone Tar. He has to Tranquility Shield. He's immune to damage for a moment, but still not out of the woods just yet, as Limps is chasing him down around the corner. He's trying to duck and bear form. He Send Wards. I think the Send Wards should keep him alive. He's going to wild charge back to Raikou. Here comes the hunt. Limps doesn't care. Limps is going for the kill. He gets rooted behind the pillar. Does he have a breaker? Mercy's in so much trouble. He stuns Lone Tar. He's trying to come back and assist Mercy, realizing he's overextended. Houston into a blind. He trinkets. He might need to link. I like just comboing that trinket link together so he doesn't get caught in a weird situation later on. But they're still dying even through the link. Ancestral Guidance comes out from Houston. He may need to ground. Waz is in trouble, cloaking at 10%. It is constantly back and forth, but Lone Tar is still ahead on mana, and this isn't the name of the game for Chibaku. If they can Lone Tar, it's their main win condition.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing to do. Mercy right now, though, taking a huge hit of damage. Needs to be careful. Will portal away behind the pillar once again. Houston got interrupted. Beautiful counterspell there by Raikou, causing all of that pressure and a little bit of momentum there for Echo. But Limps is getting aggressive. He is unafraid, pushing in on that Demon Hunter, getting as aggressive as he can. Raikou throwing in some missile damage. It actually looks like they want to commit a little bit here onto Limps. Finally, Cheap Shot's going to be landing on Mercy. Dark Pact immediately. Cheap Shot on Limps. Big barrage of arcane missiles. Can they take him down? Almost in execute range. Limps could just outright die. Another walk comes in. He's immune for the time being, but Houston still can't control his character. Some heal's going to be landing. Healing Tide's down. Can they kill the Healing Tide? Wasp snipes it as fast as humanly possible. Limps has Blur, but wants to hold on to it, be aggressive here. This has allowed Mercy a little bit of time to get aggressive, and I don't know if they're going to be able to reliably train down the Demon Hunter in this situation. Perhaps, though, Limps is really afraid here. Stun on Houston, clone on Mercy, Cheap Shot on Limps. Can they end the game? It doesn't look like it. I think Limps is going to be able to hold on.
He missed the Ring of Frost there. They go for a gouge instead, and now Lone Tar, well, Lone Tar's in on top of them with no tranquility. He's in a lot of trouble. Static Field pulls him back. Houston trying to carry once again with those Static Fields. Limps is going all out on Lone Tar, but Heart of the Wild is up. He's got bolstered bear form. They're going for the coil anyways. They don't care. Just full disrespect to try and chop down Lone Tar. Can they stay on target? They stun him up. They blind the Demon Hunter defensively. Beautiful blind from Waz to stabilize, but he's still lassoed. Limps is still on top of him. They're just ruthless, still going after him. I think they're finally going to have to give up the chase as too many hots on him. They're trying to get back onto Raikou. Raikou sees that. He moves away. Mercy gets cloned at low health. Lone Star jumps in and goes for a bash into a ring. This ring is going to be secured. Limps could be in trouble as Waz, it looks like he's into a root, but Mercy actually is the target. He's going to Dark Pact on any resolve. He may die through it. Dampening is quite high. Limps doesn't even care. He's just soloing Lone Star. He's actually soloing Lone Star. He gets cheap shot from Waz. Waz saves the day. That would have been lights out. Cheap shot into clone. Limps is taking some reckless moves here, but he absolutely has to in this position if they want to win this. Can they keep up their pressure? Limps is on Lone Star once again. Mercy has no defense, but he ports on top of Lone Star. Lone Star makes a big mistake, standing on top of the lock port there, and they finish him. Fuston drops down another static field. Here comes the double Mortal Coils. Gouge onto Limps, but Fuston is there. Fuston is carrying so hard right now. Oh my god, he's dead through it! Unbelievable. Chibaku moved to match point.
Chibaku is on fire. This team is here to play. Incredibly impressive on this map that they were able to do it. But I feel like Echo improved a lot going into game number 3 from game number 1. They looked a lot more confident in their plays, but ultimately Chibaku is able to pull off a victory. These constant swaps onto the Druid, and I think it came down to just a little bit of a positional error. However, like the way they collapsed on Lone Star was actually very impressive. Limps literally, this is a little bit earlier on, but the way they took down Lone Star at the end, we're going to see it. Limps actually gates on top of him. So just crosses the map instantly with a gateway. Then Mercy portals on him. So using all that Warlock tech to just immediately kind of smother Lone Star. There's a few close calls. This is another Tranquility that came in from Lone Star a little bit earlier in the match. But we can see those final few moments. Waz comes and saves the day with a cheap shot Cyclone on Limps. But watch this. Watch how they collapse on Lone Star here. Lone Star takes this pillar. He's trying to be away from the fight. But Limps literally just gates across the map, gets there. Mercy loads up an Immolate, ports on top of him, and then all of a sudden, Limps and Mercy are both there. Managed to get the stun on Lone Star. Fuston follows it up out of the coil with a Lightning Lasso. You see exactly how this happens. The portals or somebody, you can see them just blasting Lone Star. The Lightning Lasso comes in. Doesn't even go for the dispel on Limps, realizing they can just kind of win with a two-person attack here with Mercy and Fuston, and Lone Star ends up dying through his Tranquility. So really nice plays. You've been calling it out, but I feel like Fuston has been an MVP for this roster, playing incredibly on that Restoration Shaman.
Every lasso is just death. If I see a lasso, like I'm scared for somebody on Echo. The static fields are getting insane value right when his team needs them, and he's still keeping his team alive while that's all going on. I mean, you have to do a lot of casted healing on the Shaman, deal with multiple interrupts, and to be able to maintain your offense while juggling that at the same time is really difficult to do. It's like absolute like 5-head, 3D chess. Like you're playing like 10 different games. You can do damage. You've got utility. You got to avoid CC. You got to help your Demon Hunter get out of CC and get on their target. You got to keep your Warlock alive the whole game. It is really difficult to do what Fuston is doing right now. And they're actually on match point against Echo. And if they win this series, they're locked into top 3. They just need to win one game. This is probably going to be the most difficult of the two on the large map, but I think it's still possible.
This team owns. I mean, this is crazy. All right. I'm really curious to see if they're able to win here on this large map. I'm getting more and more confident. I mean, this team, they've impressed me so far in these 2 cups, and obviously in the past, these are players we know.
I'm turning down a tiny bit.
They have been playing really well together as a team.
So I didn't the first games of this,
in a lot of work here,
but from what Chuck told me, they
can best Echo.
Have they been playing the same comp the entire time?
This will be the second time we see Echo in the lower bracket in quite some time. But we'll see. Echo's going to be able to lock in Chanimal on the Destruction Warlock. But the main advantage is Chibaku Tensei. They won that game number 1, right? So if we go to a game number 5, it's going to be a small map. And then I think Echo's going to have to make some hard decisions on what compositions they want to run.
All right. What are they
super interesting.
Possibly? They still need to win this game. And Fuston was getting some insane static fields on Tolvaron that almost won his team the game. So you got to be careful of that at the same time. Moving into this round, it's by no means going to be a free game for them here on Maldraxxus Coliseum as they face match point, and Chibaku Tensei look to secure their top 3 position and qualify to the mid-season clash, the cross-region tournament with a $100,000 prize pool. They just need to win one game in this series at this point, and they'll be locked into that phase of the tournament. Can they manage to do it?
That's true. They aren't locked in yet. Interesting.
Insane. Like hardly anybody has ever done that in the history of the game. So will Echo be able to retain their throne and get their crown back here in this upper bracket final? Lone Star with a static field didn't really look like it got any value there from Lone Star, or maybe it was Fuston's static field. He's caught into a fear at the moment in the middle of the map. I-Beam coming up. And yeah, it looks like it was Houston static field at the start. Houston's actually fielded on top of Limps, away from Chanimal as he's going to gate. They kill that field. They look to reconnect. Multiple rifts incoming from Chanimal. He's dumped all 3 immediately onto Mercy. So Earthen Wall comes down for Houston. Healing Tide as well, but Waz is able to snipe that Healing Tide. Observers are coming down from both Warlocks, and it looks like they're almost immediately dealt with. I really like that the melee DPS are assisting there. The pistol shots, the throw glaives. They need to make sure those observers go down. We saw how critical it was for Echo's victory in game 2.
Yeah, definitely big hunt here by Limbs. Chanimal could fall. He's behind the hill. He might just die. Oh my goodness gracious. That was a close call. Getting interrupted. A capstone on Lone Tar. Beautiful setup here once again. It's going to get more. Chanimal in so much trouble. Mortal Coil comes in. Are they going to just kill him?
This looks terrible. What the fuck?
Lone Tar has to respond appropriately. That was such a massive burst of damage. But now Mercy in some trouble. Houston behind the pillar.
This is crazy.
Looking to get as many heals out as possible. The coil lands
When
on
Mage's
Mercy.
punish, I mean, Echo are very versatile. They play Roguelike a lot as well. Last season they played a lot of it. Season 1 they played a lot of it. They won with both of those things.
Follow-up crowd control was crazy, and Chanimal still in the back.
They're not getting punished yet. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe just DH is getting the better of them.
Out of range of his port. They're in this weird position trying to take.
Could just be that DH is better than a Rogue in this matchup.
Really, Lone Tar needs to be ready for the next. He gets spell locked on his lasso. That could be devastating if Limps is able to connect here, but Limps gets peeled away from Waz. Houston gets feared by Chanimal, and they can't connect the damage that they need at that moment in time. Now Limps is looking.
I mean, look at this gap, right?
Dark Pack force from Chanimal. They're cutting through it. He's
there is a very large gap here between the two different melee.
That coil for now. He's into the stun, but Mercy is in so much trouble. Massive damage incoming from Waz and Chanimal. Big heals come out from Houston. Now Chanimal on the back foot. Observer is down. He's static fielded away. Is he going to be able to escape? Here comes the Essence Break into a triple stun from Limps. They're looking to close this out on match point. Limps gets pulled away for a moment from Lone Tar, but it's
really crazy synergy between these two.
As soon as he's not rooted, he's going to connect a massive
not just that.
punch here onto Chanimal, I think. Chanimal gets a Chaos Bolt though onto Mercy.
Not just that.
Too late. Netherward doesn't hit the reflect on the Chaos Bolt. Darkness comes down. He might just
still die
to darkness. Big pressure incoming on Mercy.
Blink.
He's trying to Chaos Bolt right now. He's so low on health.
So his Chaos Bolts get buffed by the DH. The DH gives 5% magic, but also 10% chaos as well. So Chaos Bolts get 15% more damage when you play with a DH. They've got there's a crazy amount of synergy between these two classes.
They're spamming fear on Waz. They're trying to slow down the game and get Mercy into a stabilized position. Now Limp's getting aggressive. Here comes the I-beam. Observer is down. Mercy needs to be careful. He's taking multiple hits from that Observer. He gets killed out, but Chanimal's in trouble. Who's going to fall first? It's match point. Chanimal gets a huge heal there from Lone Tar with that nature swiftness.
The map clearly doesn't matter here. They're both just stuck on each other. Pretty much.
This is absolutely incredible. Gouge on Houston. Mercy still in trouble. The coil comes in. That was the big metamorphosis from Limps there, and they didn't net too many cooldowns. There was good pressure on Chanimal, but Lone Tar was able to handle it. Still has
big win condition probably comes up for one. I mean, we got Infernal in a sec.
Mercy was just taking full control of the game. Beautiful 3 versus 1. Mercy's in trouble. He portals away, but might just outright die. Immediate counterspell by Chanimal. Mercy, I don't think he's going to survive.
Oh my god, how is he holding on? How is he alive, man?
Are they going to reverse it on Chanimal? This is such a close call
right
Mercy.
Bro.
Can he stay alive? The double stun lands. Was
he's fine.
Finish him off
he's actually fine.
Some way. Mercy.
Maybe not. Oh my god.
It's just going to die. The Spirit Link totem comes from Lone Tar.
Bro,
this is incredible.
They both have port on ports and stuff too.
Against the ropes right now. They can't believe that Houston had ungodly
Limbs
heals
dies?
right there.
That's unfortunate.
And it looks like he's going to get dropped as well.
2-2.
Look to punish the positioning there and swap right back, taking
Bro,
into a game 5.
The strat they had, there's an adaptation there, I think. I'm actually confused by it. Why pick the big map if you're Echo? If you're planning to play on top of them like this? Was that just a change they made at the start? Did they play the previous games? That's super interesting.
I can't believe it ended like that. I was actually thinking they were going to do it after he lives there, and then just Limbs just falls over as cheap shot.
That was
like 5 seconds later.
It's crazy that Mercy lived that at one point.
Yeah. Mercy,
just drain life.
How close this is earlier on in the game, I do believe, but the back and forth pressure. It's like Mercy just 1% health. Limbs, I think he comes in with a double Chaos Nova here. I don't know how he's alive. This is like that moment as a Restoration Shaman where you just are pressing Riptide and hoping it crits and he can survive. But Mercy actually manages to survive here. And this is where we think Chanimal might end up going down. Luckily, Lone Tar had the Spirit Link Totem. He's able to drop that off. It gets sniped off immediately. But a beautiful setup onto Limps. They realize, you know what? The Demon Hunter's got no trinket. They get the cheap shot on him. Big Chaos Bolt from Chanimal. That fast Chaos Bolt into the Extinction Blast with the Lightning Lasso. That was honestly a really clean setup there by Echo. And those kind of setups where you're not going after Limps the entire game, and then he maybe trinkets out a little bit reckless, and you just 100 ohm like that. Really, really clean to see. But both these teams, with how much pressure was on them, I'm impressed that they were able to keep this level of pressure up and kind of like battle back from these really dire situations.
It looks like Link on broadcast honestly isn't showing up at the right speed.
Echo are not out of this situation yet.
I don't know why that is, but totems seem delayed on broadcast. They aren't delayed in game. There is the normal delay, but there seems to be additional delay on broadcast. So
it might be the X factor for their team. They just need one game win, man. They're fighting so hard right now.
It always shows it late. If you slow motion a Link, it'll always look slow. But I think on broadcast there's an additional tick of delay there for whatever reason.
Just one more game. Where are we going? Where's the map? I'm thinking it's probably Dalaran, or maybe Runes. Dalaran or Runes for them here for Game 5. And yeah, we're going to Game 5, Runes of Lordaeron. You really couldn't ask for a better setting here. And Echo have a big decision. What are they more afraid of? Are they afraid of the Cleave as Shaman Rogue lock? Or are they afraid
they haven't played that yet.
Afraid of the Warlock Demon Hunter as Rogue Mage Druid? I feel like they need to play Lone Tar on Shaman no matter what they play. I feel like right now they need him in the most comfortable class at this moment in time.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen the other matchup play out, so I'm curious. It must be if Echo locks in Rogue Mage Druid, then it must be a really bad matchup. So I'm not sure what they're going to do, but Runes of Lordaeron is a very awkward map. Because if you do lock in the Rogue Mage Druid, I feel like it's not a good position for Raikou to actually maneuver and get away. There's no nice pillars that he can use. It's going to force the Resto Druid and the Mage to kind of clump up on this map. And if you're not clumped up on these tiny little pillars, they're doing it. Okay, Rogue Mage Druid. They must think they have no shot with Chanimal based off what Chibaku Tensei can run. And that means
now
that
I want to know what it is.
Yeah,
like,
me
what?
too. I would love to know.
I mean,
maybe it's like DHDK. Is that it? Is that the cleave that they run?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure it is. I just feel like why they've lost every game as Rogue Mage Druid. I feel like almost.
Could be Warrior too.
Seems a Warrior?
Maybe like Warrior DK, Demon Hunter Warrior. We've seen that play out, right?
I mean, maybe. I feel like if anything, like Sidu's team wants to know what comp Chibaku is hiding, because I think they have that comp as well, and they're going to be playing against a lot of Rogue Destro likely in the future here. So Chibaku Tensei, they get this matchup that they've been winning the entire series on their map pick, really small map. As long as they can play at the level that they've been playing, I actually think they're going to be able to do this.
Yeah, and let's remember, right? If Chibaku Tensei wins this, they make the top 3. So this is massive stakes for them. If they lose this, then I believe they have to play a tiebreaker. If they win this, they just qualify for top 3. They're comfy, they're in the finals, and they just beat Echo, which is a huge confidence booster. So I don't know. Can they do it? Runes of Lordaeron, Game 5.
Oh my god, here it's Runes of Lordaeron. Would be a fitting final resting place as it is a cemetery. Is the tomb going to be sealed for Echo or Chibaku is now the question as they bring back in Raikou. And man, Raikou needs a win. Man, he is not having a good day on Mage so far here in the upper bracket. Can he do it? Substituted in. Can Lone Tar be able to keep up with the pressure that's coming his way? Because Houston is going all out. I've never seen a player want a win so bad than Houston right now in this series. Just min-maxing every possible situation that he can. Coming back
kind of interesting. I think there's something going on. There's something happening there. I want to see what build Limps is playing.
That Ice Nova. There's going to be no sap, but it looks like a triple cheap shot, kidney shot opener. Waz actually going after the Shaman. Are they going to punish Waz for this push? They stun him up in the back line. Overlapped a little bit, unfortunately, for their side. Mercy Dark Packs. He's in Earthen Wall. He should be good. Static Field down on the Mage, preventing his retreat, but he did get Alter Time up. Unless they can strip that. Double Infernal Stun. Multiple Flame Rifts from Mercy. How much damage is he going to really get here? Lone Tar needs to be ready for these hits. Temporal. It's match point. They can't afford to choke at this point. It's a lot of damage.
TK's pretty enough. I played once on broadcast
Raikou recovers.
last week.
Holds on to Ironbark, but Waz is getting in on top of them. He gets knocked away by the Thunderstorm. Ring of Fire has been triggered. Are they going to dispel it off? Ring of Fire and Arcane Missiles are doing a lot of damage to Mercy right now. Ring of Fire reapplied as well as he runs through it a second time. Limps is just going after Lontar.
It actually looks like a really rough matchup just to get attacked as a Druidle game.
No spell lock. Houston's out of range. Now he's into a full gouge. Mercy ports back. They need to help Limps. There's too much CC. Vengeful Retreat immunes the wild charge there.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking of as a counter pick. I'm really curious.
It looks like his imprisoned breaks. He goes for a stun instead. But now it doesn't. Maybe they don't have stuns for the DPS. If they have anything to lock them down. Looks like Houston faked out an interrupt there as he has precognition. Mercy is interrupted for a moment. He's fishing for Chaos Bolts, trying to swap back to Waz as Lontar gets feared away. Raikou is back into the fray on top of Houston here. Multiple cheap shots, but no damage really connecting. Mercy needs to dodge this Ring of Fire. I really don't want to see him run.
I mean, Chewbacca has 2 melee cleaves that we know of, DH Warrior and DHGK, but I'm curious as to
massive swing of damage onto him. Lontar's going to ironbark these.
How it's a better matchup than this, basically.
Raikou pop off in this moment in time. His team really needs it.
Yeah, Arcane Blast. Arcane Blast gets wind sheared into a fear. Nice denial there by Houston and Mercy. He's not going to get too much value from that.
Now, I really like my fan. Like, what I want to see him
close quarters. Look at this.
Is I want to see them get pushed into the finals and then them take that matchup.
For a drink, but is it going to cost them big cooldowns if they can get Cloak of Shadows?
Because it looks like they're afraid of it.
Good here for
but I don't know.
Puts Lontar in a really good.
What do you think the move upset? What do you think the other team did to look them so hard? Oh, they played a counter comp into them. The move we're playing against the worst possible matchup. It was a counter comp.
Huge damage here from Limps and Mercy. For
they played it despite that. The move played it really well.
But it's still Raikou on the back foot. Limps is going to come over.
Move played it really well despite that.
Constant swaps from Mercy and
oh, we're definitely sick today. Holy fuck.
Really keeping Lontar
that is tragic.
I want to see the Druid swaps as often as possible. I feel like that's when they get the most pressure.
My cough has started.
It might be like early on in dampening. They're just focused on living. Maybe they're afraid of dying to the burst damage from the mage. Because later on in the game, Limps just started tunneling Lontar. But Lontar's mana is looking really good here in match point, which is not good for Chibaku. Mercy. No trinket. Is he going to die? They have the darkness unending.
That's unfortunate. That's a big overlap, unfortunately.
As he's waiting for that Cyclone to subside, but now he's into a kidney shot. Beautiful Cyclone from Lontar. Waz reconnects. They have more crowd control. It doesn't look like that. And Houston has Ancestral Guidance. He should get a big Nature Swiftness here in a second if he even needs to get Mercy back into the fight. He actually ports back. Here comes an Observer. Oh, Arcane Surge casted on the gouge. They can't stop it. They clone Limps off the gouge. Lontar is getting really aggressive with these clones. And they need to look to start punishing him. That Cyclone is likely going to be a main reason why they're able to win if they don't.
Yeah, I really want to see more pressure on Lontar. I feel like he's not afraid, but Mercy in a lot of trouble. Kidney shot on Houston. Echo looking to send Chibaku Tensei down to the lower bracket.
That's the link trade. That was actually a very early link trade.
Immediately, they don't get any value from it whatsoever.
They did. It did move their health.
Control has faded, and now it's Raikou who's forced to run away. Temporal Shield, Lightning Lasso lands on Waz, though he might just outright die. He's got no trinket. Big heals from Lontar saving the day, but really good counter.
I just feel like this matchup's okay. It's close, right? Like they're actually out of stuff right now for a long time. We've got trinket.
This is a high pressure, high
both heals are pretty good. There's a chaos move behind the pillow.
Any cracks, a little blood on the floor, and Echo are immediately going to pounce when they sense weakness. So they need to shore up some of these mistakes here moving forward. They have no 3-minute timers, no major defensive cooldowns remaining. Waz goes in for the grappling hook kidney shot. They drop down an Observer defensively. It's instantly sniped by Waz. Raikou blinks back to the pillar.
That is interesting. I don't know yet though.
Connect instead. Trying to min-max some value here. Static field onto Waz. Gets 0 value. That's killed immediately. Limps is into a Ring of Frost. Lontar looks for a clone on the Dispel. Limps is out of the game. And Echo, man, this is the former Echo that they need to be if they're going to be able to take this series. They got Houston's Trinket. His Healing Tide is down. He's still dying through Healing Tide. Mercy's trying to drop a couple of rifts here. He's got 3 rifts onto Raikou. He pre-tempts it. Temp is over. Maybe they can blast him down. He's got to be careful here. It is Runes of Lordaeron. A notorious map for, Ice Block to be ghosted.
That's a cheap shot. That's rude. All right, interrupt on Houston.
Oh, actually, it's toxic.
Still in some trouble.
That's advanced. Directly at them.
Limps with a big metamorphosis, getting really aggressive. Hunt's gonna land on
Raikou. Into him.
He does alter time, and I do believe so. He can alter
it's
time.
It's definitely altered, but he's getting crushed again.
This is a really important game. Raiku's going to be kiting away. Great defensive plays there, sitting in the.
There's a lot of. Lawrence has had some really high pressure spots, despite everything.
To Mercy, but these constant swaps are keeping Lontar guessing, and all of a sudden, Lontar's mana is not looking good. The late game in favor of.
Oh, there's a drink though. There's a big drink. He gates in, but he can't stop it.
Trying to help out Limps. They really want to just smother Echo right now and not allow.
There's a nice fair on that.
Echo's slightly falling apart here. They have some pressure on Limps, but this is overwhelming damage.
There's the block.
Gets the ice block off at 5% health.
Still feared.
It was has nothing. Dude, was has nothing.
He's gonna die. Gets coiled. They've done it and dies. They do it.
Holy
Echo is
fuck!
Sent to the lower bracket, and Chibaku Tensei, they guarantee themselves a top 3 finish.
Wow.
I can't believe they just did that. That was
They
almost a double
just
kill at
it's
that moment in time. I was
crazy.
thinking they were starting to fall apart, but they held it
Okay.
together. They've done it.
The
They've
actual
best-
like drama of this season of ABC so far is wild. And when I say that, I mean like basically like on both regions, you have like okay, and you Kings crowned with a move, right? They show up and they look unstoppable, and then suddenly within a week they're uncrowned. And then you've got Echo, who are previously always pretty much there. They get beaten, and then you have the new champions are Hula Bang, and suddenly they're beaten. And now you've got this situation now, where Chibaku Tensei have now done the same thing. It's just kind of like everyone's taking turns. The meta is so unstable in terms like there's no established meta right now on either region. The most consistency probably is Moonkin Rogue. Ironically, I thought Hula Bang was knocked out. Were they not? Are they still going in the lower bracket? Are we seeing them now? I thought they got KO'd. They did. They did get knocked out. They got knocked out by a DC.
Possibly coming true now.
It's not rock paper scissors actually in this case. I don't think. But I will say that the DH lock does seem superior to like the other holdings a little bit. Maybe. Not just a DC. It was more than a DC. They already lost. They'd already lost 2 games without that.
I'm curious to see if
You got to give some credit to what they played against. But it's just not. I mean, that comp is a very interesting comp too, right? It's just a very unstable meta.
This composition, if it can beat this Rogue Mage Druid, and then they also have
They're losing the game?
to kind of win the rest
On the
of
DC, it was the very start, man. The DC was the very start. There's no way you could say that and be serious about it. They DC'd in the first 30 seconds of the game.
You're right, Ben,
You could not be
and
losing the game at
such
that point.
A pleasure to watch them as well, and
It was literally the start of the game on Dalaran.
And Chibaku Tensei were like, you know what?
Like nothing could have happened in 30 seconds time.
Very weird to see them down in the lower bracket, but I'm excited for Chibaku Tensei, and I think you're definitely right. They are the team to beat. How do you feel they're gonna be doing against some of these other team Super Ts that they got down the line here?
I mean, are those other teams going to get back to them? I feel like Echo probably.
Now the question is, what happens with Echo? Echo going to play in 2 games time. I really want to see the matchup they're afraid of play out. I feel like they'll take it next time because they've lost every game as Arcane, right?
They're the only team with a Moonkin, like focusing on that Moonkin Rogue, and we've seen Sidu's team dominating.
You can you should not wait and use. So ABC has the rule of basically DC's a fair game, and you shouldn't. Some teams will wait in DC's actually, but you have a lot more incentive not to wait than you have to wait.
Oh, okay. Well, Pirate Pete's with that Moonkin Rogue here against Lava Lava is also going to be kind of a new series.
Do you think Arco's so Arcane is a bit weird?
Clyde is also more willing to play kind of like.
It's very possible that like they don't have the same synergy as like say Cubsy.
The most meta, even though it won with that comp specifically.
It's also about the reason the final season should be LAN. So this is not the final. The tournament coming up in a couple days time, or in about a month's time. That is actually not the end of season tournament. It's a mid-season tournament.
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
It's mid-season. The end of season tournament is a $300,000 tournament. After 2 more cups next season, as in season 4. And the results from this carry across. So these points carry across. So wait, these are the point. Hang on, this is point standings. So it has them all tied at first. There's probably a tiebreak for first in this case as well, because it's kind of big for the cross region tournament. Hula Bang are out. They can't qualify. Hula Bang are in the gauntlet no matter what. That's crazy, by the way. Hula Bang and the move both in the same spot. Both win the first cup. Both get 6th place, I think, or 8th place. No, Hula Bang have less points because they got 8th place.
$1,000 prize pool. So any points you earn from this cup, as Van has explained, will also apply to qualifying. Yeah,
the final one probably will be LAN. I very much expect that the final one will be around the launch of the new expansion. So I feel it's in their best interest to do that as a promotional thing.
But if they somehow manage to win the whole tournament, they get
yeah, I kind of expect that one will be.
big prize pool tournament.
We're about to see Lava Lava Pirate Pete's. I'll do a prediction. Give me 1 sec, guys. I'm gonna have a shower really fast. I honestly like. I'm on early. It wasn't quite as well set up as last week, right? I had enough time to be set, be ready to be here. So I'm not quite ready to be here yet, but there's a prediction up. Give me 1 sec, okay? Back 1 sec.
Insanely well. I feel like Houston is like really popping off this weekend so far.
Yeah, definitely. It's been crazy series, but I'm sure they're absolutely stoked right now. So we're going to let them celebrate, and we are going to be heading into another series after this break. It's going to be Lava Lava versus Pirate Pete's, and kind of said all that needs to be said about them. Lava Lava, they're the team that bested Echo last weekend. Pirate Pete's also another incredible team that's sort of risen up recently, and they're just sort of playing for spoilers at the moment. So let's see what these two teams are capable of. We're going to head to a break. We'll be right back with that series coming up next. Hey everybody, welcome back. It is the second series of the day here for the European Championship Sunday, and it's an elimination round as well. It is Lava Lava versus Pirate Pete's, two teams that have made kind of a splashdown in the EU region, Zico, and one of them is going to be knocked out right now.
Absolutely, and it's so funny because Pirate Pete, they're really just the boogeyman of this tournament. They're just trying to cause as much chaos as possible, just to try to ruin everyone's chance, because they don't have a chance of qualifying to the top 3, but they are going to be in the gauntlet, so they're going to have a shot at getting maybe some points for the standings there. But Pirate Pete, such a great roster, so much skill on this roster, but we didn't see them in week number 1. Now we've seen them. They've made top 4. And this is really a team that just has upsets written all over them.
Yeah, they certainly do. And then speaking of upsets, Lava, of course, I've said it so many times, but they are the team that beat Echo last weekend. So quite a lot to prove here for both of these teams, Lithy, and a lot of incredible performances from them this weekend so far. So now that this is the last game of one of them, I'm sure that this is going to be a pretty good showing from both teams.
Oh, I am sure. Lava kind of involved in a lot of big games so far. They've beaten out Precook Enthusiasts in the lower bracket already, but got sent there by Chibaku Tensei in the first place. So all in all, I'm still kind of questioning how good is Lava overall, because last weekend they did perform pretty admirably, only falling to Hulibang in the grand finals, right? And this week, it's kind of all over the place. And hey, I kind of think they have what it takes to get back to the grand final, but on the other side, well, the Pirate Petes, let's just say there's a bunch of legends on this roster, Galu first and foremost, who I'm thinking about here, and it's not going to be an easy matchup.
Oh, you can have favorites, We've got, no, but I mean, you're right. It's Gelu, Nixie, Clyde, Corky, all names that you know and have been around for so long here in AWC versus quite a lot of newcomers to AWC themselves with Lava. So let's see what they can do. It's game number 1 here in this elimination round.
This is really cool. This is actually what Super T's predicted in the pre-game talk before we went to that break. He said he expects to see Clyde on the Prez Evoker, and that's exactly what Clyde is going to be locking in here. So no Holy Priest here for Clyde, and this is a comp that we've seen a lot in NA. Rogue, Munkin, really top-notch composition here. So definitely a solid draft here from Pirate Pete, but Lava has been a little bit better so far this season. Let's see what they can get done here, Lithy.
Yeah, this Boomkin Rogue lineup for them has been kind of the big upset maker this week already. That's the comp they eliminated Hulibang with, the reigning champions from last week. So we're in for a banger of a matchup. And starting things out, Clyde already looking for a little bit of damage with the Disintegrate. And that's one of the beautiful things here about the Evoker. Not just do you have an insane amount of HPS that you bring to the table, but you also do a pretty decent amount of damage. And of course, we gotta watch for those incarn timers every 2-3 minutes. This Boomkin is just gonna delete someone off the face of the earth, or the Rogue just goes in on Dex, bopping him down to 20% health before the Barkskin. Well, that was a cooldown. That's why he looked so sketchy there in that moment. But got himself back up on top. Guz, in the meantime, is the next target. Nice swaps going on here from the Pirate Beasts. They're just blundering.
That's it!
What just happened? Zico, he got burrowed 6 feet deep.
You took the words right out of my mouth. He burrowed, but he actually just buried himself there with that burrow. And we got to see it here on the replay, but Pirate Pete coming in. This is what I was saying. This is the boogeyman. This team, they are not taking any prisoners right now. Everybody's walking the plank. Who is going up against Pirate Pete right now? Who can take these guys down? Lava. I mean, this game is just quick work being done here. So we get a nice CC chain here.
All right, sorry, I'm trading my host, buddy.
Doesn't have the Barkskin. So
what happened? The Pirates went Insta. Wait, no Insta. Oh, what kind of mean Insta, right?
After Guz here, they get a Cyclone onto Coffee.
You guys will vote with the Pirate Beats too.
Adding in pressure, and look at that Prez Evoker.
Yeah, I didn't expect that at all. I was, I thought I was actually on pretty fast, but
you got the sleep onto Guz. Darkness gets forced out, and then you got Nixie here. Just
I guess I'm wrong.
The pressure back onto Guz, doing a lot of damage here, and Dex has to.
Did we expect this?
Healed up, right?
DH Munkin.
Managed to get some trees.
Honestly, maybe we did. DH
Clyde here with the damage going in.
Honestly,
with the tip the scales there, I believe, to get the big fire breath, gets the disintegrates, and just that Prez Evoker damage really adding up. And we're gonna see it, because we have
super interesting actually. They played DH Munkin with. Oh, sorry, they played Rogue Munkin with
Clyde was able to add in, but
This is one of the few teams that play Rogue Moonkin as well. It's done well. I mean, both regions do well with it.
It's 30% of somebody's HP, and if you have your healer,
I'm trying to think, how will Waz's team play?
That's essentially free damage on top of what the DPS can
The
bring.
The biggest thing, right, is the fact that Gus burrowed just before he died, and at that point the disintegrate was already channeling on him. And yes, you burrow, yes, you can't be hit anymore, but similar to something like a hunter turtle, like it's not a full immunity. If you have this ticking damage on you, it's just gonna kill you. So what we're gonna see on the death recap, I'm
Waz still on here. He's playing next.
Actually, what
He's lower bracket.
him down in this situation, but overall, actually, well, shooting stars in there.
Waz plays the winner of this team.
It's still an incredible goal that Pirate Pete's found here. Then again, not necessarily something you can rely on landing every single time. So we're heading to Tolverone Arena. Both teams just.
Oh, you're saying they've lost the next round?
Look at the damage breakdown here at the very end. Clyde did more damage than Corky and Nixie. You can see it on the damage contributor here in the last couple of seconds, and you can see how much of that damage actually is coming from Clyde. That living flame, 113,000. There was a fire breath.
Wait, actually, holy fuck, that's hilarious.
Disintegrates ticking for 40,000 there.
He's at 30% though for 2.4.
There was a
I
flame
guess.
breath here as well, but I think we did the double zoom. So it's gone here, but he also did do a tip.
The crazier part is if he flame breaths, he's also ripped off all his hearts. The damage is much higher. Like, so I don't think Praiser of OP in any way, but when he says 239k, if there's a fire breath, he rips off three buffs, and it does more damage than what it says.
For a long period of time right now.
Yeah, thank you very much for the host, train buddy. That's awesome, man.
But if we
We're only here until whenever the team's around. I'm not entirely. I mean, it's a long day today, so I don't expect them to be here anytime soon. I'm gonna try and stick around until they're here. They're probably here for another 2 hours or so, if I had to guess.
A good way to get there.
Yeah.
Because there's tie breaks, I think, on EU as well, potentially at least.
It is buried underneath the sands, and that's exactly where we're heading.
I love these watch party things. Like, it's really fun just to watch the games. I mean, it's more fun for me, especially than just sitting and doing my own.
Now in this lower bracket, and
I guess people a little more analytical with it.
not be a pleasant experience, but still.
So, how the two different teams playing this?
In their own right, top of the ladder the entire season, basically. These guys can play WoW Arena, and they're here to prove it.
Absolutely, and right now it is game number 2, elimination match. Winner here will qualify for the lower bracket
Yeah,
final.
we actually have.
Will be going home.
We actually have 2 different EU casters now.
The first assault trinkets out of that cyclone.
In the red DH team.
It does get disarmed here by Corky. Corky fake casting the kick, gets a DR cyclone.
The red DH team has to prove something. They have to prove that they can beat Arcane Mage, Outlaw, probably, and or Sub. And they also have to prove they can beat Lock, Outlaw, or Sub. And I feel like those are both different matches. So the move played a matchup that was the best case scenario.
Now warmed up and ready. Corky, the big target, gets in. Actually stunned on the cyclone down to 10%. Glide needs to pop out.
So this is one of the things that Sam talks about quite often as well. Like, Moonkins just kind of take. They kind of just get destroyed by just like a good sustain. But I don't know if Ellie's perfect into it, because I feel like Ellie isn't baseline crazy. It's good because they've got sheer and ground.
Corky's back once again. Nice fell eruption for the stun, looking to bring in all the damage, and the bark skin gets traded out. Disarm is available, so overall both teams should be fine in this situation.
I'm not PC in my analysis. What do you mean by that?
He's looking to
I feel like I'm pretty PC, am I not?
Apply a little bit more CC, but we're really waiting for the next good setup. Maybe now
we're allowed to swear and stuff. Maybe with a difference, but I feel like I don't like talk shit on people and stuff, do I?
Catch him in the Rudolph the reindeer form. Massive cheap shot coming in. Disintegrates are being loaded up. Dex, what are you gonna do here to respond? He trades out the bark.
I know you're not swearing.
Gets Cyclone on it on about half HP. Now Corky in trouble.
Some people might when they watch Party do that. I feel like I'm pretty respectful of everything. Hopefully. Hopefully. Ooh, a lot of damage on Corky.
And Clyde is certainly feeling it right now, but Corky with another beautiful fake cast there manages to control the tempo of the game here.
Except to Av, obviously.
In a stun taking some damage. I think they want to swap over onto Dex here on the side of the Pirates. They do connect with the solar beam there.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sure, that's totally. I don't have to lie. You're right on that one. I'm not saying they're lying about it, but I don't have to keep momentum going. Oh my god, Corky just gets deleted, man. So this is interesting.
They had so much coolness to trade there. Clyde had.
What did we have? This is moments before devastation here. We're trying to understand what do we actually have to trade. We've got Commune, but like Commune isn't ideal. He's actually just used in this clip right here. This is him using his Verdant Embrace. So he's got good healing rolling. He's not CC'd. He's got wall ups who can't be kicked or anything.
They're not out of the
Oh. Okay. So he Verdant Embraces, and then he actually uses Deep Breath. But then the crazy part is Dex would die. But Dex actually trinkets and tranks. The Deep Breath whiffs and goes above him, and then I'm pretty sure right after this is what you call a disaster. This is literally a disaster. He dies here. Look. The Deep Breath animation, and he dies in it. This is what you call Dex's trinket. Like that is literally almost a fucking comedy death, right? Look at this. He's fine. He's fine. He's being offensive, and then he's killed in that time. That is literally one of those things that is, he died because he couldn't heal in Deep Breath. He came out and communed right away. That's just super unfortunate.
The map does really affect things here, because look at Dex positioning, and everybody has to kind of go there. Like if you're
Pirate Pete's. Oh, lava one. Okay.
It's not really the ideal environment.
Yeah, that was a really interesting. I'm sorry, how to basic, buddy. I could have been faster with that. I'll do that 3 now.
This is how it looks.
Yeah, that's a very interesting death. Hopefully I see it.
Onto Corki.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely want to see the death recap.
It's a new prediction now.
There was a full health bar in.
Have they realized yet?
Like a win share.
It's not even a win share. It's actually he stuns himself for 2 seconds with the fly, but they haven't noticed it. I mean, damage-wise, my God, man. I mean, DHLE does tickle the boxes of DHDK as well, I would say, in some ways. But Ellie is just kind of vulnerable, I feel. Nixie is a long-time player in AWC, yeah. Nixie's been around forever. 126? 126, it's not huge, but it's a hit. Oh no, it's a crit. It's a crit. It doesn't show crits.
86K, nice.
It looks like he so you can see here. When you see the Ellie blast at 128, this means it's a prime wave. So then it's a prime wave. These both from prime wave as well. There may have been more of them, and then he gets earth shocked after. So the shaman just uses his entire burst on him right as he does his Deep Breath. And the Deep Breath, the thing that's kind of crazy about that is like the trinket trank was insane. The person to applaud for that is what Dex did. Dex identified that he was in a lot of trouble there, and I'm assuming he just pre-trinketed to avoid the Deep Breath on the way in too. Trinket trank won the game. If he trinketed and didn't trank, he died to the Deep Breath. So it was like really interesting the way that they played it out. But there's not much you can read into that game so far. It's interesting to pick the small map for Pirate Pete's.
There's already a shark on this map. Let's add in 6 more.
Yep.
Well, I mean, this game, they were winning. Pirate Pete's were winning, I think, in that game then too. Just the Moonkin is so squishy. I don't know if Praise is ideal for this necessarily either. I would say that generally speaking, an Asham into an Ellie Shaman is always a good thing to have. So I'm not actually sure if it's the best version of DH Moonkin, or sorry, DH Moonkin of Rogue Moonkin for this particular comp. Orgavoka just took some nerfs this season, and they haven't buffed it back, and I think everyone's pretty happy about it, to be honest. I feel like people are okay with it. Oh my God.
Absolutely crushed underneath the pirate ship, but manages to stay alive.
Pirate ship, unfortunately, does not crash yet. That's what happened last time. That's exactly what happened last time. The pirate ship just crashed out of nowhere.
But Corki under fire once again. The Earth Ellie stun comes in as well. In the meantime, Nixie actually taking insane amounts of damage. Clyde has all talents full to keep his team alive and going here. Nixie still has the trinket cloak. No iron, no bark skin for another 10 seconds here for Corki. He needs to be careful. He has nothing left.
You're okay with it, Dos?
Except for maybe Clyde's Emerald Communion. But on the other side, Coffee taking a good load of punishment. Primordial Wave is ready for Guz. Be available for the meatballs.
Wait, can I thank you yet? Person I can't name.
Dinner. That lava is heating up right now. Dex in a full kidney. Once again, the follow-up, but no damage as Corki just gets lightning lasso. Great defensive play here from Guz as Dex is keeping his team.
Thank you for yesterday, Dos. You're awesome, man. Did I? Oh!
There's Clyde. He
Bro,
can't do
Moon can just get fucking kind of.
Just drops off the blanket into the water. Zico, Lava
No,
Lava
man.
up to match point.
I guess it just isn't a good one. I think you need the Asham to balance out the alley damage maybe. Let's have a look at damage here.
Topped off. Corki
Alley
down to
damage
half
isn't even
once
that
again.
crazy though. It's just DH overwhelming him. These DHs are fucking ridiculous, man, I swear. Like he's half. He gets imprisoned. Clyde gets imprisoned behind the pillar.
Topped off. Corki
And then Corki is just getting destroyed. I don't even...
down to half once again at the pressure.
He comes around. He actually... You know what's fucked up about that? He rewinds. Bro, this is... They actually track this as a cooldown. Look at this. He rewinds it. It's a very obvious animation. He uses rewind. He's like, oh fuck, he's dead. He's taking crazy spike.
Corki down to half once again.
He comes out. Rewind is the first thing he presses. It does nothing.
It's insane. He's going down.
It is a good answer. I want to see if they have the recount.
Wow.
Have we gone to the recount yet?
So making me
We haven't. They'll probably go to it in a second. I want to see how much this rewind heals for.
They break the 100% win rate here on hook point for Pirate Pete,
Oh.
and all of a sudden they're looking like the shark in this matchup.
Yeah, they win the swing match.
Lava
That's gonna
Lava.
be massive, of course. 2 maps on match point.
It's not just coffee. There's a bunch of them. They're all on EU. You've got literally like 4 different crazy different
100% on board
DHs.
the preservation evoker in combination with the boomkin.
So what's Clyde's the healer? Okay, I want to see the rewind.
So
It does
spiky
200k.
against this Demon Hunter Ellie lineup, right?
See that?
So
That's his 5-minute cooldown heal, right?
feel
By the
like
way,
it would be a
this
little
right
bit
here,
more
nice little like fucking
kind of
4-minute
sustainable
CD
to
for
have something
100k
that would
heart.
keep him alive a little bit better. And if we look at NA, for example, Team Liquid has been running this exact comp,
That's
but with
wild.
the Resto Shaman instead, and have been doing incredibly well.
But I don't know if I don't think Clyde has Asham, but Asham is better into Ellie for sure.
Pirate Pete's Resto Shaman could be an option, but also the whole
Community's kind of dumb.
seen the Pirates.
There's no, I find it might go on rogue.
Rock with
Right. So he only got one global off, and it was rewind. He rewinded on the way around the pillar because it heads through pillars.
They might just be playing
He
two
used
different
exactly the
positions.
globals he had to use there.
It feels so bad when you're essentially getting completely deleted through healing cooldowns, right? Like this time it was the
No
rewind.
heals for 12 seconds.
Last
He's
time,
CC'd for a
it was
bit.
the
Wait, is it 12
healing
seconds? How do you know
and
12
also
seconds?
the
I only see
big
4 seconds in this death window.
Preservoker
You know-
cooldowns. Yeah.
You know what I would like to see here? Some good old RMP. You bring in the sub rogue, you bring in Galu on the mage.
The last death window? Hang on. Do they have a 12-second one? There's some healing there because it's spiking a little bit. Oh wait, no, it doesn't show. It shows echo only and rewind. Yeah, I struggle to blame Clyde because he's sitting there at like 80% for the majority of, like, he's only actually taking damage at the 7-second mark. This is the first point where he starts to go down on his like death spiral. So it's only really this part that matters, 7.2 seconds or so. Of which, you know, it's not much. He could have been a little bit higher. Had 2 Dream Breath. Yeah, it's possible that it's not actually correctly showing. Wait, that's Dream Breath? You think, oh, his health is moving up a little bit. I'm not completely sure. It's weird.
Basically double burst damage. So a lot of the good Ellies do exactly what Guz did here. So you just need to know a lot of these cooldowns, like how much damage do they have, and that's the tricky part when you're playing a healer at this level. It's really hard to know everything that can happen. And you
gotta be in the enemy's head to know what's happening and what might be absolutely murderizing your team one way or another. Match point.
The Mythic Plus stuff is free, Doss. It's just the haste stuff, right? Someone asked before about how OP the Extinction Blast is on that. It's off global, but it's a cast, so you can use it between globals, and it's an off global attack.
Rematch against Echo in the lower bracket finals.
Apparently the use effect is free. I don't think you trade any stats for it. It's just an OP item with no budget. From what I understand, it's just those items, or like the items with time strike and stuff too. They all have free stats. They're higher eye level than they say.
the Demon Hunter.
So it's a
Maybe
high,
they're
like
actually
above.
after Coffee more on that Demon Hunter because he has really been making life difficult here for Corki.
That's what I was told. I haven't checked it myself, but I was told that all the time, all the like special effect items this expansion were free budget, free item budget.
The one thing about those Demon Hunters is if you don't actually kill them in the stun, it's really
They're like pseudo legendaries, I guess.
They're going in for the blind out of the stun there onto Dex. Can they find the sap as well? He should be able to get it now. Gets the gouge there. That tree was keeping Dex in combat. Corki now though going to be on the back foot with Dex being out of crowd control lately.
Yeah, massive damage, but just so much healing to turn around the incoming just punishment raining in on Corki. Pops into Bear for a second, but now once again under massive pressure from Guz and Coffee. Nice Cyclone landing here, the Demon Hunter taken out of the equation. Beautiful rescue here on the Essence Spray. Coffee does get nothing out of that little cooldown here. And once again, Cycloned up, full, nothing his team can do about it. And Guz under fire, down to half, no shift, has a burrow available, and you can see Dex in the backline just pumping. Next cheap shot lands, Nixie looking for some pressure, and in the meantime, Coffee once again in the backline. Full stun on Clyde, little swap once again on the Evoker, and this might be something they've been looking for the entire last map already, and this time they're capitalizing on it. Nullifying Shroud coming out for the moment. The Dragon is fine.
The Dragon will be staying in the game and not really worrying too much about crowd control, but there are purgers on the enemy team, and you can bet that Guz does want to purge away those stacks. Corki, though, is taking a decent amount of beating here, but he should be completely fine.
He still has 3 stacks for now, it looks like.
Spot away from Dex, and now they're going for a sleepwalk. Dex, though, with the Shadow Meld, going for the stun there, potentially out of the Shadow Meld, but not able to find it. Dex just going to reposition.
You can bet that Clyde's not going to play as aggressive after those. Oh my god.
But as I say that, what is
Bro,
going on?
you know what? You know what happened? I'll show you what happened, man. I said he's not going to play as aggressive, and he started casting a Fire Breath. This is what happened. This right here. And in the time it takes to do this shit, his fucking Moonkin just dies. He tries to do 1 offensive global. He tries to cast 1 Fire Breath, and then look what happens right after this.
Just gonna reposition behind the pillar,
He finishes the channel, and in the time that he finishes the channel, he has gone from like 80% to 40%. He's casting a Living Flame now. By the time he finishes this cast, he's actually dead, I'm pretty sure. Look, Living Flame goes off, and now he's 10%. All he did was cast 2 offensive abilities. He tried to spend like 3 seconds being offensive, and he died in that time.
Just a repeat of the first 3, right?
Offensive goal. Yeah, but I mean, still though, right?
Clyde can't keep him alive.
Still though.
Right here, Clyde is spamming out the.
It actually heals as well. I'm pretty sure the Fire Breath actually does some healing, but not a whole bunch, right?
Situation. So for Clyde, he has no.
It's also only 1 person doing damage to him. I'm pretty sure it's just the DH that just solos him.
Just too much damage being dished out here onto Corki from these from especially.
But it's not necessarily only a it's only a bad global if you get kicked, I think.
Really looking solid here in this lower bracket. And they really want you know, the points. So for Lava Lava, this is excellent. But if we look at big picture here, this is, I don't know how much
Lava Lava are quiet behind.
Echo are gonna be with this.
Wait, no, they're
now they're gonna have to face Lava Lava, and Lava
oh
Lava
shit, this is interesting as fuck, man.
to the
Lava
lower
Lava just took
bracket
the lead.
fast,
Lava Lava just took the lead. They're rank 1 now on the.
So,
Are
Lava
they?
Lava is one of those teams that can go.
They are. They're 2nd and 3rd now, guaranteed. Whereas Echo 3rd and 3rd and 4th guaranteed right now.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm excited for
and
this one.
3rd guaranteed.
I'm
Yeah,
excited
they
to
got
see
3
them
and 3.
have this rematch,
They're
you know.
actually behind. They
I know
have
that
to get.
Echo is a team that is highly adaptive. They're good at taking
There are
the
quite a few scenarios where they
situations and
tiebreak.
figuring out, it's like, okay, you know, we lost once. Was it just a fluke? We're just gonna go back to the drawing board, figure something
Yeah, have
out.
that comp. Which comp are you talking about, Stone?
Is Echo gonna answer that question, or is Lava gonna beat them once again? You know, Pirate Peace. They
Very
weren't
interesting
quite
game.
able to pull it
Not
off as a
probably
team.
what I
They've had some
expected,
death recaps
to be honest,
here.
but
they were able to get that 1 game, but unfortunately, that is not enough. And Lava Lava is gonna take that 3-1 and head into that series against Echo. And I'm curious as to what's going to happen here, and also who's going to be back up to the grand finals to fight against.
Now,
Zimbabwe.
DHL is really
I
good.
mean, this EU region is just getting more and more exciting.
But it's good against
and,
Ardred
you know,
usually. I mean,
it's
that.
Cup 2,
I don't know,
but
it's good
feel like
against Priz too, I guess.
I really hope, Lithy, that these teams stick around so we can continue to see them develop, especially these newer rosters.
They're afraid of something, but I'm not sure what it is, Lam.
Absolutely.
I'm not
I think
sure
the
if
big
it's
thing is,
DH
of
Warrior
course,
or
you're not just
DH
earning
DK or
potential
what, but
points in these first two cups,
they were
but
specifically dodging a matchup.
right? Everything
They were specifically not locking in on the maps they wanted to.
Into Cups 3 and 4 and the global
They think,
championship.
I mean, it looked like they think DHDK is a counterpick into it, but we'll see. Yeah, Lava takes the lead now.
Not showing up for those Cups 3 and 4, you're kind of just tossing away your points, right? So I am super excited. EU has been all over the place in terms of who everyone is beating everyone.
Oh, it's the gauntlet.
It's going to continue on with that. And if we're looking at the standings of the gauntlet currently, I mean, wondering what
Pirate Pete's have taken rank 3
in round 1.
Right?
Like that's Swapsy and the team.
Yeah.
Those guys could just literally roll the entire gauntlet.
They could, or precog enthusiasts. I mean, you've got Jamie.
Yeah, it's actually be a very big heads up play. We'll see. I have no idea.
Some absolute arena legends down in the lowest part of the gauntlet, which Zico just proves. I feel like how tough this competition really is gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because it's like this in.
I don't think so, AWC. I think this is just an interesting situation where the meta is like slightly different to what people expect.
There are so many good teams.
Yeah, the gauntlets are nuts.
If you have the chance,
they're really good.
Really, just avoid this entire place here. Like all of this that's on your screen. If you can avoid that, just avoid this. Just go directly to the mid-season, clash, and yeah, just let everybody else battle it out here in the gauntlet. But I mean, like we mentioned, like if you look at it, sure, you got Wandering Water Furbolgs, Swapsy, 3-time, I believe, BlizzCon champion. So one of the most decorated players in the game, and they're going to be in 8th place. So you have to knock those guys out, or they could make a deep run through the entire thing. And we also have, of course, Precog Enthusiasts, which is another really packed roster. So I mean, I don't even know which one of those teams necessarily should win.
Spexel free win. The healer roster. They will probably have the opportunity to pick up a healer, is my guess.
Chilling there in the round 3. We just saw them, also an amazing team. And Hoolybang, they won, week 1.
Usually, keep in mind that the way this works, and that assumes Burley isn't unbanned, by the way. Burley might be unbanned.
And of course, here we can also get a quick refresher on who is playing where. So all of these streams.
So Burley got banned. You can see they're not showing. So there's a gap on this roster. Right here.
The gauntlet.
I don't know.
We're lucky they had 4 on that roster. If they had 3 on the roster, I wonder if they get DQ'd and they can't go to the gauntlet. But
for Europe,
no, he got banned for GDKP stuff, I believe.
Infographics where it's like how the depth of the ocean and how like the deeper into the ocean you go, like the scarier.
I'm not sure if it was upheld though or not.
The sea life.
A lot of people claim that there was some false positives there.
The gauntlet is shaping up at the moment, but we can't take a look at the standings where we currently are. Lava going to be nice and comfy in that number 1 spot at the moment, 180 points, followed by a tie right now between Echo and Chibaku Tensei. So just such an exciting region. I mean, I feel like we can't really stress it anymore, but we're going to have another exciting match coming up here and determine who's going to go to the grand finals. Is it going to be Echo or is it going to be the newcomers, Lava? Find out in just a bit after this break, and we'll see you in a bit.
All right, Echo versus Lava coming up. I believe Echo. Oh, this is the rematch of the week 1 loss they had. We're about to see whether they can get revenge here or not. So in week 1, what happened was Lava played DH Warrior the whole series, and oh, actually they played one other game. I think they played one game of DHL as well, but they played mostly DH Warrior into RMD, and they actually won. They reverse swept them. I would argue that they shouldn't lose that matchup, probably based on the kind of like capacity of their team. Lonta will have a chance to redeem himself on Druid a little bit. I mean, he's an insane Druid, by the way. Just in that matchup, I think it was a bit rougher for their team. It seemed they just need big confidence. They didn't seem as confident in that series. Echo goes channel against DHLE. Against DHLE they will, but against DH Warrior they probably won't. They're having a rough time with this. Maybe it's hard for them to bounce back in terms of confidence though with a comp like DH Warrior or with a comp like Arcane Outlaw. Well, I just think they were playing. I don't think Lonta played badly either, Jubite, at all. I think in that my analysis of that matchup was they weren't playing to win. They were just, it felt like they were playing to save Lonta, and they weren't creating any counter pressure at all. And I feel like they just have to be confident enough that Lonta is going to make it out of there and just fucking do setups instead, at least some of the time. Lonta's a really good Druid, man. You think Druid's bad against DH Warrior? The Warrior's got pretty big mobility problems against a mage Druid rogue, right? It's possible we see sub. Maybe sub to kill the... I mean, maybe. I think sub's better than people give it credit for sure. Yeah, I think people ditch sub and said it was unplayable like within 1 second just because Outlaw was so good by proximity, right? I mean, I think Echo are favorites here, even though they lost it last time.
We are heading straight into the game here. A lot on the line. Let's determine who's going to head into the grand finals. Is it Echo or is it Lava Lava?
Oz is finally doing it. He's finally doing it. He went back subtlety. I'm really wondering. Like, I feel like a lot of
oh my god, he is sub.
Windwalker monks.
Holy fuck, he is.
Bad idea to play subtlety. So
this is kind of sick.
Still play the specialization to the level that's going to be required to take on Lava Lava. We saw Calvish bring in the subtlety rogue yesterday. And it was remarkable. It kept them in the tournament. So, is this going to be the tech that Echo need?
Not even just guys. They can delete. They can delete. They actually delete all three. They're actually all weak against sub rogue.
But it's good, right? Like the nice thing about the subtlety rogue is it adds a little bit more offense. So you have a lot more punch to your setups. A little bit less consistent damage, but when you actually get those setups, it is.
Honestly, I'm like one of the things surprising about sub is if they actually play it fast, they don't do low damage. Like especially against comp like an arcane mage, they can just stop the other team from playing. They're gonna go on Lonta, but they actually also won the blind pick here pretty hard, I think. Right? No warrior to deflect.
I mean, this could even be game over.
This seems like a really good matchup.
Is baiting coffee, potentially gonna like DB.
I don't know if sub's better any team as an Outlaw. I think sub can do fine against Outlaw too. There's other synergistic things that Outlaw brings with its PvP talents and stuff too. I don't know. Oh my god. Oh my god. He seems okay. So yeah, they're playing full W offense at this point. I think they would have won this matchup as both Outlaw or potentially a sub. I mean, we'll see what happens. I think Outlaw would win it though anyway. This is not the matchup there. Oh, here's an essence break. Big essence break.
Cleaved apart right now. Lontar gets a huge heal on Raikou. Waz is still quite low health, but he's actually
Dex again, but he actually pre-bears this go. Still though. Execute one more. Dies.
And I think Echo have finally realized that Subtlety Rogue is still amazing.
Yeah, everyone. This is what pisses me off, man.
Sub's not too bad, but I feel like a lot of rogues
This is what pisses me off.
abandon it.
Like everyone's like, oh, Sub Rogue got deleted. This is why DKs were allowed to get deleted, and unfortunately, Sub Rogue not bad.
A lot of these outlaws are losing.
Sub Rogue definitely not bad.
In Subtlety Rogue with the mage, it adds so much extra offense. And yeah, Echo made that look easy in game number 1, and I think this might be the adjustment that they needed. Even essentially, if they win this series, going into the finals against Chibaku.
Oh my God! Here, I mean, you could play.
Oh, it's actually interesting.
Game 5, every game is 10 minutes
Yeah.
long.
Oh, it's actually super interesting. So this was previously considered the hard counter to
for Echo, and they can play their game as well.
DHLE. Oh, this is what complicated. It was supposed to counter Arcane Mage, but they just crushed it.
And he's in bear form before this stun, and he just drops anyways. It doesn't matter.
Holy fuck!
Takes so much damage.
This is a bad matchup, not a good matchup, and they won it.
I'm gonna check it on the gear checker here.
Probably not a lot. Druids are.
Yeah.
Generally, you don't.
This comp is the anti-Arcane Mage comp.
You might have to play more than you normally would. He's got haste. Well, that's the set bonus. I gotta look at his off pieces. Do we show the belt on this? Yeah, we do down here. Actually, verse mastery. He's actually wearing quite a bit of verse.
Hey, son. The good things, buddy.
Against the Subtlety Rogue.
Echo just won, yeah.
If you're playing against a Subtlety Rogue, you probably should make that.
No, there's no way Dex is playing Daniel of us, but I'll check for you. It's worth looking at, right? I think only Danny so far I've seen play that type of verse. You'd see just like every piece with you can see he's got a verse mastering on here. This is haste mastery. This is high verse with some mastery, little mastery. Verse mastery. He's got some, and maybe you'll see some of this gear swap off a little bit, but it looks like a lot of verse. Danny's gear he plays with is like 20. Well, sub 20%, like 15, 16%. Most of his gear has not got verse on it, but this is like almost every piece has verse, so he's probably looking at like, I would imagine he is playing close to 30% or higher verse. Probably 30% to be honest.
They have the burst to follow it through, and it feels to me that
Danny makes it work.
To a Demon Hunter, you're kind of playing the same game as the Demon Hunter, except maybe you're slightly worse at it in certain situations. But the Subtlety Rogue, it's a lot different. It's all about just that hit and run, and get those consistent setups. And if you have the Demon Hunter Trinket out aggressively, you can just delete him off the face of the earth. These constant setups on Dex make it really difficult for him to get the consistent dispels on Coffee and Guz and allow them to get momentum. But there was a few close calls on Echo as well when they did actually end up stacking up. Raikou and Waz were taking quite a bit of heat. They were taking a lot of damage. So Lava is certainly not out of this one yet, but I do like the subtlety pick.
I'm not asking Admin how many tiebreaks we're looking at. Hey, any idea
I feel like teams, they have to
how many
subtlety,
or any?
Rogue, the game is slower. You know, you're not so worried about dying in a kidney shot as the Druid, but against subtlety, you have to be aware of every kidney shot is potentially lethal, and you have to have something ready to trade, save some sort of crowd control to peel, be in a position so that you can actually assist your teammates when they're going for these setups. But Hook Point is a pretty reckless pick, in my opinion, for Lava, because usually you want distance from the sub-rogue so that Dex is, you know, as far away as possible so he can see Waz coming and react to it. On the small map, he's going to have basically next to no time to react. He's going to basically just inhuman reaction speed.
Yeah, he's an awesome Druid for sure.
They're just stunning Raikou immediately, and it doesn't look like he's playing Blink Stun, as he didn't.
So we're seeing a rematch of the same matchup.
And they've isolated Dex
immediately taking infinite dam. Infinite dam.
It would be astonishing. He gets huge heals, and this time around
Sub looks
actually able to hold
pretty good here, huh?
Unlike last game where he had to trinket.
Bro, everyone just gave up on sub without testing it, I swear. I swear. Everyone saw a 10% off and the health change, and they're like, okay, this build doesn't work. But TR actually lets you play with more mastery anyway to make up for it.
3 versus 1. We'll see how Waz ends up setting it up. He's going to be going after Goose right now. Let's see if they get an interrupt. They do. Beautiful counterspell there by Raikou. Here comes the setup.
Oh, it's on Guz this time.
Huge damage. Cyclone to follow it up, and all of a sudden Goose is in a lot of trouble. Let's see if they can take him down. He's just going to
Wait, he's
go
back.
underground, try to disrupt the setup here by knocking Raikou and wind shearing him. Nicely done, but still not.
Raikou doesn't
popped
seem
off.
like
This
he's...
is what we want to see from Echo. Keep them guessing. Don't just go after the Druid. Try to get his trinket, maybe the blind or something like that. It doesn't have it available just yet, but finally some damage rolling for Coffee and Goose. Lava getting really, really aggressive here. All three members of Echo are rotting down, but at the same time, Echo's trying to start a setup here. Dex not in any crowd control, throws out the Iron Bark in a great position.
Actually, just polys the Iron Bark and then clones it. That's kind of nuts. You don't see that very often. He was half health. There's poly clone him. And they're going to go back on him as well. Just to fuck with Hots, I suppose.
They're actually going after the healer. Can Coffee manage to get the pressure that we
Well, going after Lone Tar is kind of what this comp wants to do, by the way. DHL wants to go after healers as much as they can, but they're currently in this position with this, like how afraid they are, with no trinket on Dex.
They're still going for damage though. Arcane Surge will connect, and Dex is gonna have to heal a lot of damage potentially here if Raikou can free cast. He gets wind sheared on his Arcane Blast. He's looking for a polymorph. They polymorph the Demon Hunter really far away. Dex has to overextend a bit to get him. They stun Lone Tar, but he's sheeped on his stun. Really good polymorphs here from Raikou. Lone Tar jumps in. They're getting aggressive. They want to close this game out. Kidney Shot comes through. No trinket, no wall, no darkness. Guz is so low, but Guz is actually going for the kill at the same time on this push. Full clone onto Dex. Is Guz going to be able to survive here basically by himself as there is endless crowd control coming out onto his teammates? They swap onto Coffee for a moment. In this Arcane Orb into Ring of Fire, here comes the hunt. Coffee trying to line it up, gets rooted for a moment. Not sure if I like them going after Waz. No, they're actually going after Lone Tar. I think he's definitely got to be the priority target on this small map. Whenever he's in the middle of the map, just lobbing out as much damage towards him as possible. They're just waiting for that Shadow Dance. Waz is looking to reset his cooldowns and get ready for the next attack.
No, Sub is definitely dead.
And a cheap shot. They're not even bothering to CC Dex at this point. Potentially looking to just get a drink with that. Yeah, they're setting up Lone Tar to get a drink. They just send stuns, make Dex think that it's a scary situation so they can drink, but Coffee immediately punishes, gets a stun, swap back onto Waz. Massive damage incoming to him, but he has cooldowns. As long as he's not greedy, he should be able to get out of this situation. Even being greedy, it looks like he's getting out of it. Kidney Shot connects onto Dex, but Guz will pre-wall the cheap shot. Really nice wall here from Guz that reduces all the damage during his stun. Lone Tar gets caught in the middle of the map. I love that they keep clotheslining Lone Tar, and now they're swapping back onto Raikou. He alter times. He should be able to recover. Now Dex has Trinket. Guz doesn't. Guz is likely going to be the target here. They have Shadowy Duel. Waz could do a one-tap with Shadow Blades and Shadowy Duel on either Guz or Coffee, but he's just sending damage onto Dex. He gets the Bark Skin, he baits it, he swaps back onto Guz. Smoke Bomb comes down, he thunderstorms it, but Raikou is free casting, Arcane Surge, Arcane Missiles, he has to burrow and duck for cover, and he's looking to knock up the Resheep, but Raikou blinks the knock up to be able to get the Sheep again. Unfortunately, it's still not enough to win, and now Lone Tar is getting blasted. He's gonna have to Trinket.
So mana-wise, Lone Tar is kind of in a big problem spot, but Guz has no wall, has no burrow, but Raikou's dead? Wait, what? He's at 80%. This game actually looks fast. Look at this. He healed up from temp fading, and then immediately got burst down. So
I want to see exactly
what's gonna happen now, by the way?
I also kind of feel like
block.
maybe Echo
So what's gonna happen here? Echo are gonna play Chan into this team. They're gonna play Rogue Lock into DHLE. Most definitely, that is their plan. So that blind pick was a big one. It's still winnable, obviously. You know. Yeah, Chan. No, Raikou won last game. Yeah. I don't know. Do we think he? Like, let's go back to this again, just really quick. Like, how much reaction time do we actually have?
Dex. I think they were trying to get a Sheep. Tremendous. And Dex is struggling. He doesn't want to.
I mean, he's got. You can see he's got temp up, and temp gives him a little bit of a heal. Like, what is it? What is it? He's in static, so he can't kite. He's got Trank hot on him, which is helping a teeny bit. Lone Tar's saving himself.
And Dex is struggling. He doesn't want to Iron Bark.
There's the temp pop. Guz is at 1% health. Guz is literally dead here. Like, I'm thinking that Guz is fucked. He actually has nothing. Look at him. Look at Guz's situation. He's got literally nothing at all. Honestly, Dex has Iron Buck, but he's choosing not to use it on a guy at 1%. So my guess is that Dex will trade the Iron Buck here.
When they're not on
he trades the Iron Buck, so now Guz is actually fine. And now Raikou is 30%. But Raikou is probably still thinking, hey, I can try it, because this is execute range. Guz is in a percentage, like very close to a percentage of health where he can die in one hit. So I think Raikou just kind of feels like he can spend one more offensive globe. My guess is that Raikou just uses like a barrage to try and fish for an execute. We can't see it, unfortunately. Yeah, we can see it. Actually, we can. You can see this orb pairs from Raikou. He sends an orb out. So that's his global, but unfortunately that global is kind of at what percent is he at?
When they're not on,
he's trying to he uses the bait global right here. So he actually sends out his last global when he's at this hell. He's dead. That global was probably a little bit of a mistake. But it's not the matchup they want. So they've already done their job here, I think. Dixon Shadowy Duel. He gets the Iron Bark off though. But yeah, they're just in a really awkward spot.
Seems they play Frost Demo, and I experimented with that myself, and it went okay. But Arcane Demo.
Wait, what the fuck? Lava did not want to play against the Arcane. They didn't want to play against Chan. So they didn't give him an option to play. They're playing Demo Arcane.
Arcane Mage, and you can free cast. You can do devastating amounts of damage. Channel on the Demonology Warlock, I think, is a really solid pick. But I want to say playing these.
Bro, no one plays the matchup they want to play in this at all. That's wild. I'm surprised they didn't just.
But now it's a little bit different.
Oh, Echo blind. No wait, Lava blinded this, and then Echo counterpicked that. Okay.
Against this comp.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's any sort of secret tech here for Lava that could actually enable them Warrior against Arcane Mage. And getting snared so heavily, and all the mobility of the Warlock. Chanimal's probably going to play like that ultra mobility lock spec with Impish Instincts and the short cooldown on Demonic Circle. He's going to run Gateway Mastery for the short cooldown and the longer distance. He's probably going to run Soul Rip so that he can get damage reduction. If he's running that like ultra tanky build, he could be incredibly difficult to deal with and target. I'm wondering if maybe Lava can do some strat where they kill the pet, possibly. Cleave the lock, kill the pet. Or if it's like a druid game where they need to like run at the druid and the pets from the Demo Lock will break the sheep, so they can't really like peel for Lontar. Or if like which one? I feel like those two lines are probably the most likely for success.
Yeah, well, curious. Mage Lock finally going to be locked in here during these cup stages. I think this is the first time we're seeing Mage Lock in the top 8 in either region. So let's see what they can get done. This is the perfect time to bring it in. Arcane Mage, Demonology Warlock, not the most typical variant of the composition, but I think it's really strong. So we'll see what Coffee's going to be able to do. He's playing Elysian Decree as well. So that main reason you would play that, I know it had good damage, but it's also a significant heal too. So maybe if Dex does get caught in a crowd control, Coffee's going to be able to be a bit more self-sufficient with that.
It's possible. Lontar immediately using Innervate, playing as efficiently as possible, but they're actually running at Lontar. They get a stun on him immediately. Stormbolt on Chanimal, maybe a split DPS strat. Demon Hunter runs at Druid, and then Warrior runs at Warlock. Whichever target they can maintain their uptime on, because that's what it's looking like right now. They stun Raikou for a peel there. He trinkets out immediately. He's just blasting arcane missiles, trying to keep his pressure high on the Warrior, but Lontar is really struggling with just the Demon Hunter on his heels as he finally gets the Demon Hunter under control with a Cyclone. Fear on Dex. They've isolated the Warrior. This is the perfect time to blast damage. Ring of Frost out of the Fear. Excellent execution, but there's just no damage. Look at Carriage. He's at 100% HP this entire crowd control chain. It was a full Fear into a
Warrior's actually, so here's the thing.
Dented.
Warrior is actually fairly tanky into Demo Lock. Demo, they have Fuel by Violence.
They're gonna need a little bit of damp.
They'll need a bit of damp, yeah. Damp to break the Warrior self-healing. You'll actually see. You can see at the very bottom, actually, it's hidden. The Warrior is doing 23k HPS, which is actually pretty high. He gets to put deep wounds on every single pet, and that gives him healing.
They're gonna have to kind of go the distance. I'd be surprised if they close it out before Dex is completely out of mana. So Raikou needs to make sure he does a really good job slowing down any drinks from Dex. Just do not allow them.
Yeah, he's very heavy verse stacked, and he has Fuel by Balance on pets. Normally you wouldn't get value from Fuel by Balance in a huge way.
And just go after carries. It's a slow path to victory, but I think if you can pull this off consistently throughout the match, eventually you will win.
Oh, he's got Doomguard in. Chanimal's damage is maximum right here. Massive pressure incoming.
I mean, this looks awful.
Side, and his carriage is just going to fall. Dex
he already parried right before this, by the way.
Greedy with just Iron Bark. He manages to get away with greed there, but anytime he's caught in a crowd control, it looks like it could be really dangerous. Dex is actually getting swapped to by Chanimal's pets. He's going to frenzy regen in bear form and tank him out. He can also mass entangle these pets behind the pillar, but Chanimal's port right on top of him. He lands.
Warrior's doing good? I'm not sure I'd say they're doing good. I don't think Warrior is a meta in any form for these tournaments.
They're absolutely going to win this game on mana if should it go that long. And Chanimal's just 1v2ing the Warrior and the Druid behind the pillar.
Yeah, put permanent MS. I mean, Demo MS is kind of budget though, right? I feel like I'm just saying that like the Warrior is going to be more durable than he would be into other teams that have MS. Like a Rogue training him, he doesn't have your balance value, right?
They're going to lose their swing match advantage. Echo absolutely cannot afford to lose. They're experimenting with this composition, which in theory and on paper should be the absolute counter. And right now they are winning on mana, but I'm not sure 100% if it's guaranteed.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's not going to be a quick. It's not going to be like he's still
aggressive here onto Lone Tar. Let's see if he can do it.
Fairly durable, I guess.
Damage, not too much,
I think.
But a main objective of Coffee, I think, is just force Lone Tar to be.
I wonder if Arcane's kind of awkward for this too.
Heal himself. He has the heal of Chanimal. He has to get control. And the split strategy, I think, is solid here from Lava Lava. Dex, though, way behind on mana, and I really don't think he's ever going to have an opportunity.
Yeah, he can't drink. That's one of the things. The Warrior isn't going to be tanky enough that he can just drink whenever he wants. He has to be managed the entire game. And Raikou can spam Purge. So you can actually just kind of dampen Dex slowly.
Looking like he wants to. He gets interrupted. Good pressure here by Coffee, though. The hunt's going to land. Lone Star could be in a little bit of trouble once again, needing to land that Cyclone.
Actually forces NS, but it is a good trade on. It's a good trade on.
Dax burning through more of his mana, forcing him into bear form and bark skin.
Honestly, there aren't that many situations where you see Waz get set.
Raikou has pressure on multiple targets. Dex might be sitting down for a drink. Raikou needs to shut that down. No
yeah, Warrior is draining his mana. That's a very good point, and that's their plan here. They're trying to whittle him down. Oh, he's dead. He's dead. Execute range dead.
Beautiful setup by Echo.
Insane comp actually. They did an awesome job with this.
I feel like probably could have played that one a little bit better there, but maybe it wasn't.
Dex kind of caught in that kind of like spot in the middle where he can't.
They're gonna keep their swing
Wait.
advantage.
I didn't do a prediction for this. Whoops. This is map 4.
Now this is going to be a problem for Lava Lava because this is a series that could go to game 5. Sure, they can pick a small map here.
All right, game 4 predictions up.
Mage matchup, but ultimately game 5 is going to be on like Ashamane's Fall.
My guess.
It's going to be this big map, and
so game 4, by the way, they can't blind this. You can't play. You can't play this comp into DHLE. I think it's a beautiful counter pick into the like if they're ahead. So that in a grand matchup may just come back to haunt them. They're gonna go back to probably sub Arcane, if I had to guess.
Hey, hello Dex. I got a coil for you. I got a stun for you, and just absolutely destroys him. I don't think he was expecting maybe to.
They could go
crossing the midfield.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna go with.
It was definitely a risky maneuver.
I bet Dex is playing. We should take a look at Dex's gear for this one because I don't think he was really expecting to be the main target. Probably had a very low versatility. So, oh yeah, we can see the kill once again. Raikou is fully loaded up on his damage here, and when Dex crosses, he's only got a life bloom on himself. So Raikou, he actually gets a time warp proc. This is where he just spams out Arcane Blast, Arcane Blast, Arcane Blast, Missile Barrage, and then he has, obviously the Execute Barrage as well. So Raikou completely destroyed the Druid there. Chanimal obviously seeing him with the coil on the stun, but that was mostly Arcane Mage burst coming in and ultimately securing the win.
What'd you miss? An interesting counter pick from Echo to play Cleave, or play Cast Cleave, rather, into Cleave. Kind of a classic too. They picked Delaran Sewers, which is actually a very shit map. I felt this is gonna go to game 5. I personally think it's just such a high chance of going to game 5 here. Yeah, there's the Arcane Mage, but we're on Delaran Sewers, man. There's not a whole bunch of space to work with. It's not a map, not really a map you can drink on as well. So I'm not entirely sure this is the play, but we'll see.
Like it's completely different than playing against Outlaw, the way you need to think about the game. And maybe once people are warmed up to subtlety, it actually gets weaker when you know, like, oh, this is where the setups are. We know when the damage is coming, and you can play more predictably around it. I could see it getting weaker, but right now it just seems like a lot of teams just don't know how to play around it, and they're able to capitalize on that quite effectively.
Echo locked in. Oh, you can't see it. Sorry. Echo locked in Arcane sub. Resto Druid again. So, kind of an interesting one.
On that Demon Hunter. Guz and Dex going to have to back him up there. We saw the last time this matchup played out. It was a big swap on Raikou that ended up closing out the game, but they have multiple pressure points. I kind of feel like Echo might be able to go after the Demon Hunter a little bit more in this matchup. Like if they can get cross crowd control on Dex and Guz and just go after Coffee, who's maybe like preed from a sheep or a dragon thrust, something like that, you might be able to take him down. But it seems like they're opting more for the Druid and the Elemental Shaman. But Elemental Shaman, I feel like it's kind of difficult to take down, especially since they got the new burrow tech. Like if you do end up getting, first of all, you're an orc, so the stuns are going to be shorter on you. And if you do end up getting out of the stuns, you can just burrow underground, which is pretty much a guaranteed save. So I think Elemental Shaman isn't as easy to take down as in the past, but we'll see if Echo still kind of favors that line of strategy here.
Are they going to manage to do this? Echo could just close it out, get their rematch here against Chibaku in the Grand Finals of Cup 2, and I wonder if they would even use the Subtlety Rogue tech in the Grand Finals as well. This could be a precursor for that finale. Can they manage to claw their way back
look
in?
to see Raikou get blasted much harder on this map. It's a very, I mean, they played on Hook Point, but I think this is actually, I would argue this seems worse on Hook Point in a lot of ways. Harder to drink on. There's no distance whatsoever. This map is literally just, I mean, it's 3 small pillars that kind of work out. So it's not bad, and you can knock them off and stuff, but
each team out. Guz and
we'll see.
Run in to grab combat. Dex is going to open up with Tree of Life, so he gets that bonus armor immediately, and he can start relaying hots. But he gets imprisoned. He actually had to.
Yeah, I mean, DH can cross the map in 1 second. Dex in big trouble at the start. Dex in huge trouble. Trinkets.
An absolutely devastating.
Now the reason this is scary is that the next Undia he actually has to pre-bark or he gets blasted, and that was Surge. But if he doesn't pre-bear this next go, look to see Dex get exploded. He has to. Oh, there's the gouge, the setup, the pre-poly, the cheap shot. Raikou, the big missile did not get into this.
Dex could easily fall. He gets a wind sheared. Nicely done there by Guz, slowing down Raikou's damage just a little bit, and that should be enough for Dex to survive.
He did not actually.
Big setup at the same time.
Evasion from Waz.
He's got no Cloak of Shadows, forced to trade out the evasion. Lontar heals him up, but now Lontar getting swapped to and just deleted.
Yeah, this map, this fucking map, man.
Hunter Elemental Shaman.
Horrifying.
Lontar is on the run. He's behind the pillar. Needs to be very careful. Static Field Totem whiffs there. Guz not able to find it onto Lontar, but a full Chaos Nova lands. Now they're swapping on Waz. Waz might just outright die.
Oh my god.
He's in so much trouble. Lontar
he has
has
nothing.
To play catch up. Iron Bark, Barkskin,
Evasion's
it. Can to keep his team alive, and they do stabilize.
Waz has gone through both vanishes here already. Has a dance, has Shadowy Duel. So we're looking at some. There's the Shadow Blades. This could be scary for Dex if he doesn't pre something.
Oh my god, that was almost a repeat of Hook Point, but now
Waz nothing. Has to Shadowy Duel. He has to kidney Shadowy Duel probably here.
It needs to be enough. Is it going to be though? Raiku's free casting multiple missiles, multiple arcane orbs incoming.
Big arcane surge comes in.
Follow it all up, and he might get the alley-oop. Dex has to use Tranquility. He actually cancels it.
Has to leap out. Wait. He could easily die here.
And it's match point. Nature's Swiftness comes through. A huge heal, and Dex survives once again by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah,
okay, we're gonna have a trinket on Dex now. That was Surge. It does feel like Surge is an important part. Coffee and Bomb though. Coffee could go down. No, he's fine.
Looks like he's gonna get
no, he actually ditches, goes to kick to let him catch up there a little bit on Raikou.
That was another walk from Coffee into a
he canceled leapt. It was kind of sneaky.
Cyclone there.
Didn't work out for him, but he's alive. So mana wise, you can see by the way that Lontar is just wrecked on mana. Look at this. That's his mana. That's Dex's mana. We've got a double mana diff here. In terms of actual overall damage, we've got.
Not even denting Dex.
You can kind of see. Can you guys see this? You guys can. Yeah, there's a very large damage difference between these two different teams. Lontar is doing about 4 million more healing at this stage. And mana is the one condition. This game times out at about the 4-minute mark, I would say. Maybe 5 minutes? 5 minutes. I would say 5 minutes. Dex and Kidney, that's... It is Bark. The next go is there's the darkness. Okay, this is kind of insane. There's no trinket. There's only Bark, but guess what comes up soon? We have 10 seconds on Surge. This next setup is everything. There is no Barkskin. There is no trinket. There's only pre-Iron Bark. They have to hold on though. Lontar with Bark on himself. We need Surge to happen. We need to get Dex in a clean setup without Ironbark. There's no darkness. They can win, but they have to get it. We need like a gouge set. Oh, they're just going for it. They just say, fuck it. There it is. Surge is up.
Guz is out of the game, and Dex is exploding on match point. Cheap shot for follow-up.
Execute. Execute.
Arcane barrage execute.
Holy fuck.
Barrage is incoming. Raku is getting blasted at the same time. Huge heal comes
okay, that was their big win condition.
And Lava are so close to
Bro,
doing it.
Dex didn't even trade.
Lone Star tranks, and it doesn't even really matter. Waz is dying through it anyways. Massive pressure onto him as he's knocked off the side at sub 10%. And Lone Star has absolutely zero mana. I think Dex has done it. And unless they one-shot Coffee right now, I think that's their
he's
only
totally
opening is to go after Coffee because Dex has Trinket and Barskin back.
I mean, Coffee can just press blow whenever he feels like it.
Behind the pillar, he can't do anything. He's just rooted, and Raku could fall. There's nothing he can do. Waz in desperation tries to help, but it's too little, too late. And Raku
I feel
falls.
like
Lava, they tie
again, I'm not. The Waz is a million times better, but
dicey.
they. Oh, I guess they have to. See, the problem they've got is they need to get Surge off.
Demon Hunter though.
Yeah, they should.
I don't. There's no way Warrior. Even if they have like a really long game.
And we're gonna go to
I don't see that matchup.
We're gonna go to Empyrean, I think.
That's a good comp too. Like,
Empyrean, or if they want to use their like fucking 7,000 IQ brains, maybe Mugambala. But I feel like they'll probably go Empyrean. Mugambala would be interesting. Like a lock on Mugambala is not dying, probably. They can fly up and down. But I would imagine we're probably gonna go to like a big map. Maybe Ashmains, like small chance of Ashmains, high chance of Empyrean, because of the tiny pillars. Closest to replicating Tolvaron. One of the two biggest maps, and then maybe Mugambala if they want to try and min-max like being able to port up away from the DH.
The fact that Dex was able to just root him out of line of sight, he's just completely out of the game. He can't do anything right now. He's just sitting behind the pillar, and before he can get there to really assist Raikou, Raikou obviously
Holy Priest Rogue Mage. Holy Priest Rogue Mage is interesting. Maybe, yeah, actually.
Like, some of these teams
but does Lone Top play a Holy Priest?
I can't believe that they're going toe to toe here with
like,
Echo.
they don't have Meh.
Such a good job.
Meh, obviously, that would be their like they would try and do that as much as they can, right?
Last week it was a reverse sweep, I think, from
Robo's a weird map. The pillars on Robo are poorly designed.
Gonna work this time around.
They're too big
map, and Chanimal is coming in.
to want them.
Here.
Oh shit! Okay, so Lava, we didn't see the picks here. Lava did decide to pick Ellie DH. We're playing the classic now. We're going back to the matchup that we think is the counter to DH Ellie, which is what Chan's be playing, which is Outlaw Destra.
Have a huge opportunity, man. If they
so I've already seen this a bunch. This is a very good matchup for this is a very good matchup for Echo, but or at least from what they've had in the past. Map 5 predictions are up. Only 2 minutes on this one. For you guys, 2 minutes. Game 5. I would say that Echo's like 70-30 on this.
That point,
personally, those are the odds I would give it.
First place finish, which is better than anyone else. So.
Yeah, Robo's a very awkward map.
Math checks out. Echo, bringing in Channel, bringing in the big guns,
really want to see
Restoration Shaman, Outlaw Rogue, as well as that Warlock. So
Echo kind of make it, I think.
Lava
but we'll see.
And why they locked in the cleave, right?
I mean, Lava are not in the gauntlet no matter what.
Yeah,
Echo.
That's the little clue we have.
Echo isn't either. Oh, Echo could be actually.
Last time we saw in Tolvaron Arena.
Echo can't be. Never mind.
And I think it's because they're scared of this composition. So I think this is Echo really getting their Game 5 advantage here.
So so here's what's going to happen in this game, but just so you guys can see, we've seen this before. They are going to run collectively after Lone Star the whole game. They're just going to train him. They have to, because he can dispel and ground all their burst. So they're gonna focus heavily on Lone Star, I believe. Unless they've changed it since then. This was the matchup we saw a little bit. Yeah, straight for Lone Star. Lone Star can dismantle the Ellie Shaman burst super well if he's not contested. Dex is getting blasted. Yeah, then the grand one was huge. It's a big map though, so it's kind of a map they can. You aren't gonna see. I mean, they had to do a very heads up blind as well.
He's out of range, maybe? No, Tremor Totem comes down. Observer is down.
There's some mind games at play there too on both sides, I think, Chief.
Observer goes down. They're actually going after Lone Tar. They've been poking him a little bit throughout this game. They got his wall in this push, but
Dex gets
Dex has no
ulted for a trillion, man.
For Dex, Infernal Stun for follow-up. Nature Swiftness comes through, and man, both teams are risking a lot by making this a healer race.
It's not really a healer race.
really
They aren't
dicey
risking as much.
strategy.
I think
Coffee's
Coffee's
all over
risking a
Lone
little
Star
bit more
right now.
maybe.
Totem, I think he's gonna be
But yeah,
more than
Coffee
durable
just
enough
can't
for
do
them.
anything,
Here
or
comes
Guz
in
can't do anything if they don't
onto Dex
attack
from
Lone
channel,
Star.
getting control.
They
Yeah,
have to
that's
stop
gonna
him from
break, and
dispelling.
it's behind the pillar. Now it's actually Lone Star on the back foot. Channel's just gonna
Chan,
gate over.
gates
He wants to
on.
get aggressive. Full kidney shot here on Dex. Who are they going
Nice
after?
end cap though.
Looks like
Coil,
they are
single
gonna be just
coil,
going after Dex. The
single
coil
coil.
lands. They need to shut down Channel. If he lands a Chaos Bolt, it could be lights out at the same time.
Lone
They're panicking.
Lone
Star's in a
Star.
lot of trouble. Needs to be careful. Just going to be using this pillar to run both of these healers just under
Dex, though.
tremendous pressure during this
They
final
actually
game.
are making it very healer racy. It's weird, actually. I didn't expect that.
As soon as possible. Doesn't look like he has an emo aura. Lone Star still has no wall for 20 seconds. If they can catch him in a stun right now, it could be devastating, but here comes the gouge. Coffee needs to get ready. There's the kidney, and Coffee pre-nether walks, expecting that they would swap to him there with no trinket, and now he gets back onto Lone Star. Here comes the I-beam, but Waz disrupts it. Cheap shot connects, and Coffee could fall. It's match point. They get the lasso around the corner, and Coffee is crushed.
And there it
Echo
is.
are back in the grand finals.
Ooh,
Echo
it's gonna be
take,
really interesting
I
to see that
believe.
rematch, but just to talk a little bit about this series, I mean,
Okay.
it makes sense now. Like Echo winning that blind pick with the way this matchup played out was what kind of secured them the series here. This is a really close one, but then getting to play this kind of counter comp in game number 5, they played it out really well. Also, they are looking good, but I wonder what lessons Echo has learned back for the finals. But we can.
Is there a
see
guaranteed
exactly
tie
how
now? Let me
this one did
see.
play out. Lone Star and Dex were under a tremendous amount of pressure in this
I need
game.
to
Ultimately, it
go
was
back
Coffee
and
that
see
went
something
down,
for my team. I'm
to
sorry.
punish that aggressive trinket.
I need to find a point where
Right
there's
here,
the
Waz
thing
has a
showing.
decision. He can either go Druid or he can go Demon Hunter. They both don't have a trinket, and Coffee knows that as well. So as soon as Dex gets stunned or gouged, I think Coffee uses Nether Walk, so that if he gets stunned here, he walks in range and Nether Walks. But Waz didn't stun, so they still have the stun DR and they still have CC for Dex, I think, out of this.
Point settings.
Numbers.
Sorry, I have to do this so I can see. So right now, Lava are 180 and Echo are 180 as well. So I need to figure out the tiebreak scenarios and tell the team. So tiebreak scenario 1 is if... Oh, there's a tiebreak no matter what, actually. I think it's no
That was a crazy
tiebreak if Echo
series.
win.
My heart was racing that entire time, and good job, Echo. I think that,
Back
I think
in
that
the
about
finals?
I think that about summarizes it, because what the heck? I was
I think
like
I'm back.
on the edge of my seat that entire time. Hey, Ben.
Was that the only one that disconnected? That was.
I think so.
No, I got a little blip as well.
All right. Well,
I got stranded in the void. I didn't know what
sorry,
to do.
Super T's. I didn't mean to abandon you. Technical difficulties.
I got smoke bombed.
It might be a
Channel too
three-way tiebreak if Echo lose.
Damage too high, damage too big here. This is a really good, clean game from Echo on their main classes here to close this out so fast, right? A lot of these matches sometimes are going 10 minutes, so to be able to close it out in 2 minutes, they just really want to get back in this finals. But what do they have prepared? Because the Demon Hunter, maybe they could mirror them. I know Waz has been practicing Demon Hunter.
How they decide tiebreakers are an additional series.
I feel like Houston is playing on like a whole nother plane at the moment right now.
Yeah, I mean, they look like a well-oiled machine. I mean, on this composition, they really understand their win conditions.
No, they're tie-breaking in this case not for who gets in. It's actually decided who gets in. They're tie-breaking for point standings.
Who would even play the Demon Hunter, right? Would it be Raikou on Demon Hunter, or would it be Waz?
So you can see that right now, Hulu Bang are not making it. They are the gauntlet is decided right now, cleanly.
We'll have to wait and see.
There's
I
one.
really doubt that it's going to.
These guys are just playing each other as the last two spots. So there's no problem now. But the 180 versus 180 part, you can see that they do tiebreakers for first, second, third. And right now there's two teams tied. If Echo lose, then they tiebreak with Lava.
Yes.
If Echo lose,
certainly a lot of,
then it's a three-way tie for first. And I don't know how they're deciding that, to be honest. It's all three at 180.
Time to figure that out,
It's either it's either zero breakers.
Heading into that for the grand finals.
Echo
up
win.
next. It's Chibaku
They're
Tensei,
at 200 and it's clean. No tie
what
breaks.
they lock in, especially in that game number 1, is going to be absolutely crucial. We can take a look at the journey that we've had to get here. Of course, we can see Echo got dropped down initially by Chibaku Tensei. They battled it out, was able to beat Lava Lava by just a hair, and they are now in here in a situation where we're going to have a rematch. So not only have they played 3, they're going to be playing 3 games in a row. They're playing the team that they've historically been struggling against Stupides this weekend.
Yep. Kind of crazy to see the rematch.
Still went to a game 5, so there might be like some blind pick, like counter comping situation that might actually even determine the whole series to take into consideration. Because Echo were afraid of something, which if Chibaku know they're afraid of that, they might have some sort of mind games going on here for game 1.
Yeah, certainly could. Maybe exploit, just any weaknesses that they may see with Echo. And unfortunately, it's kind of cracking. They're kind of cracking just a little bit this weekend. But they are back up here in the grand finals. They're proving why they deserve to be here. And we can only find out after we get to the grand finals what actually they are made of. So before we do that, though, we are going to do another map guesser segment powered by Warcraft Logs, of course. And if you are watching from home, play along with us. Let us know what map you think this is. And we're going to take some guesses here based on the movement that these players play. This is actually either Ashamane's, Tiger's Peak, Tolvaron, or Nokudan.
Running through the middle, so it can't be Nokudan. I shouldn't say anything because I'm just helping you guys.
Yeah.
We should all just be silent if we really wanted to win this.
All right, let's see.
I think Ashamane's.
You're going with Ashamane's?
Yeah, I'll go with Ashamane's.
Fairly safe pick. I'm thinking Tiger's Peak. I'm going with Tiger's Peak. Final answer.
It's one of those.
All right.
It's not Tolvaron. I see 2 pillars, which makes me think it's Tiger's Peak on the left and the right.
I think that's safe.
And then
I'm regretting my choice now.
Balcony, like they're not. Oh, there's he's up at the balcony, the purple dot at the top. Yeah, this is definitely Tiger's Peak.
No.
Oh, I was so quick with it.
Sometimes patience helps you out in these situations.
I mean, maybe it's wrong, but I feel like there's no way.
No.
Sometimes moves can go through pills, but usually it's only on important stuff. They maybe should pick a log where it's
I feel like you're right.
Where
I'm
it's
trying to see. What's that?
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Yes.
nicely done. Wait, what was your guess, Ven?
Tiger's Peak. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Technically locked it in.
I thought you
before
guessed something
me,
else.
and I waited longer to make sure.
Yep. All right. Well, that's gonna be a point for Ven, and let us know in chat if you were correct. But thank you so much to Warcraft Logs. If you want an in-depth analysis yourself of your arena games, you can head over there. A lot of good information from Warcraft Logs. And congrats, Ven. What is your secret?
Well, I saw.
You're so good at this.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I did see at the beginning where they kind of spawned. So I saw where they spawned, and then I saw that they weren't going through like that middle pillar section. So, and that was right before the pillars. Yeah. I have my moments. You know.
Maybe he's cheating though. I mean, that information doesn't tell you. It could have been Ashamane still.
I'm cheating. Come on.
I mean, they could run through the
You're gonna
middle
accuse me of
Ashamanes.
cheating? That's.
I mean, the reasoning you've given could still be Ashamane's though.
This is caster on caster crime, guys. I don't like this.
Nothing in the middle. I don't know.
It looks like I got the dub.
All right. Well, we're going to find out soon enough who gets the dub with the grand finals here in EU before we head on over to North America for Cup number 2 of Championship Sunday. We're going to head to a break. When we come back, it is Chibaku Tensei facing off against Echo. I couldn't hear anything.
You're referring to are you referring to Lithy, the new guy? I think he does a good job. I'm curious to see if if you want some insight into how they probably think of this. Like, this also happened if you go back to the other series. So the reason why Echo blind locked Rogue Mage in game 1 was because their previous series, Lava queued DH Warrior the entire series. So they were hoping to get DH Warrior into Rogue Mage game 1, I believe. That's what they're expecting. And that's history, right? Now, the history that goes into this finals between Shibaki Tensei and Echo is basically that Echo are going to almost certainly lock what they locked. I think that they're going to go back to what they assume of the last 2 matchups, which is this. Shibaki Tensei in the last game locked DH lock, right? I think they were DH lock in the last game. So then Echo should try and blind lock Rogue lock. But if Shibaki Tensei think they have a comp that beats Rogue lock, this would be a very good time to blind lock that, because it's just such a high chance they're not going to pick Rogue Mage because they lost twice as Rogue Mage. So like, if they were game theorying this, they should assume the first round is Rogue lock from Echo, and they should try and steal the series off the bat. There's a lot of incentive for them to try and steal the series off the bat. If there's something they're afraid of, this is the time to lock it off the bat, because they can kind of pinpoint them and back them into a specific match pick. There's no way they can pick Rogue Mage game 1. They lost the series on Rogue Mage. Or you say Warrior has no place in AWC on the previous matchup? It wasn't like an insult to Warriors if you're taking it that way. Okay, I'm not sure exactly the context of why I said that, but when I say that, I mean that they're currently not considered as strong as the other melee classes. Like, you're gonna see basically DH and Rogue. It's not like an insult at all, I promise. I wish Warrior was better than it is, like, in a general sense, but right now it seems like DH and Alley, or DH and Outlaw and Sub even bring a lot more. Red Warrior Fesuva, it was really good into that team. It's really good into an immobile caster. It's RPS, right? So they have nowhere to go. And it's really good into DKs, but it's not a comp that you'll see, for example. I don't think you will see that team play Ret Warrior Fesuva today. I think you'll see them play DH. They will play DH Ret today, I think. Yeah. Warrior Ret Fesuva was playing into a counter comp. A complete counter comp. They were playing into a class that can't run away. Did they play DH Ret into RPS yesterday? I thought they just played Warrior Ret the entire series. I'm pretty sure they played Warrior Ret the entire series. Did they not? It was a 3-1 series. Are you sure? So DH puts in a 25% MS, but it's not as much uptime. But they also just bring a lot more damage. But yeah, my comment wasn't meant to be an insult at all, MK. I could see how you'd see that. I'm not like saying, hey, don't play a Warrior. Warriors have a tough time in this meta. Same with Death Knights, same with Hunters as well. How's Liquid's main comp against the Warrior Ret? In theory, quite good. Oh, apparently that made me no tie breaks. Let me pass this on. You'll see Vanguard's cleave. You will see Vanguard's cleave in Cataclysm a bunch. It's really good in Season 9 gear. We actually might see that. It seems that Echo are afraid of DHDK. At least that's my interpretation, and I'm curious to see the matchup myself. So if Chibaka Tensei are like very like they're mind gaming super hard, they will realize that they can blind DHDK if they think it's good.
I'm so excited for this series. We get a rematch between Chibaku Tensei and Echo. We saw this series earlier on, the first game of the day, actually Lithy, and I have a feeling it's gonna be a bit different as we head into this series.
Yeah, it might just be
Does he
Echo
know?
has shown some interesting things in the lower bracket final just now. We saw the MLD, the Mage Lock Druid, pulled out. We also saw the Subro coming in for Waz. So Echo certainly has a few more tools up their sleeve than Chibaku Tensei was ready for in the upper bracket finals.
Yeah, certainly. And I think also the interesting thing here is you two have pretty opposite predictions as well. We've got Zico rooting for Echo, and then we've got Lithy rooting for Chibaku Tensei. So, you know, there's kind of a little bit more on the line instead of just, you know, yeah.
Wait, what?
What do you have to say about that, Zico?
Interesting.
Well, this is what I have to say. Lithy is either going to be right or I'm going to either be right. So the teams right now, they're not playing like sure. Getting first place in the season, sure. I mean, maybe it's on their mind as well. But I think
honestly, if he actually picked Chibaku Tensei all the way out,
on the side of Chibaku Tensei,
that's kind of nuts because they didn't have they had a good performance last week, but not the craziest performance.
Like, hey, you know,
they were third.
I know that you guys are here.
Oh, they were second last week. Never mind.
For, you know, you're trying to get some points.
Were they in the finals against Lava Lava?
But what's really more important is our predictions.
That's super. No one picked.
I mean, there's obviously
no one picked.
Mercy is the best warlock.
No one picked the reigning champs to go again.
And he's gonna win this.
No one picked Toolbang
to worry about. We're just gonna forget the 2 games he lost against Chanimal earlier. Yeah, okay. We're not talking.
I like
That's insane.
Spicy. No, Mercy is amazing. So, if there is somebody who can go toe to toe with Chan, it definitely would be Mercy. And look at the standings. This is how close the EU region has been, right? We got Lava Lava. Yeah. And Echo and Chibaku Tensei. Lava Lava, 180 points, knocked out. Now we got Echo and Chibaku Tensei. If Echo wins, first place. If Chibaku Tensei wins, then I'm
going to watch with no delay this time.
Tie.
Because it's less delay on this broadcast.
Their overall win rate in the season. Those are the tiebreakers.
Yeah, a lot of scenarios here.
Prediction going up. I may only be for one game, guys. We're going to be out of here before.
In terms of standings, but also something to mention. This is the grand finals. It's also a best of 7, and the first game that these two played against each other went all the way to a map 5. So I'm kind of curious if we see it head all the way to a game number 7, and this just ends up being a complete back
I'm just
and
doing
forth.
2 minutes because they're about to be in anything.
I mean, the more games, the better, right?
Twitch
That's
play
what
is
we're
worse,
here
but
for.
YouTube also has a delay.
Map 1 to the last
which is
one,
not ideal.
Once the map advantage runs out and
So
people
now there's no delay.
ultimately have to pick Runes of Lordaeron, that's what we're in for. It's going to be an absolute banger. I think Chibaku is going to take it, but hey, you can never count Echo out.
No, definitely should not be counting Echo out. Well, in terms of composition, Zico, do we want to maybe take as a guess or just like what you're hoping either team are going to be locking in?
Ooh, it's a tough one to call, honestly. I feel like we're going to see a surprise come out of Echo. I think Echo the fact that they, you know, like Lithy mentioned, they've been playing the Mage Lock, they've been playing the Sub-Rogue. I think that they're going to be bringing some of that new tech in here.
They're going to play Sub-Arcane first game?
I think we're going to see probably a Sub-Rogue coming out of Waz here. For Chibaku Tensei, probably we're just going to see Demon Hunter Warlock coming out from them again.
Okay.
I can be on board with that. The big thing for me is that
I mean, DH Lock beat both comps, right?
Had something in the upper bracket finals in the back pocket that Echo was very scared of. So whenever they got map pick, they did not bring out Chanimal. And now in the blind pick, it is actually happening. We got the Outlaw Rogue, Chanimal, Warlock with Lonter on the Shaman. And as you predicted, Zico, we got Chibaku Tensei running the ever-old same good grief combat. Well, Houston, I think that's the player we need to watch out for here on the Shaman. Let's get this grand final on the road. It's Echo versus Chibaku Tensei.
Absolutely right there about Houston. I mean, Houston, he's been basically playing every single class in the game. And now he's in the grand finals here against.
It's not really a mind game. Both teams are just happy with this matchup, I think, for the most part.
Who is basically the king of Shamans here in Europe Houston already trinketing out of a blind. Going
It's not a matchup that's decisively either way. I just think Chibaku Tensei didn't take any. They didn't think they had an advantage pick into it. I guess.
There's 2 portals, 3
on
portals,
this map
huge
maybe.
portals all over the place.
Mercy getting blasted right now.
We got, I think I see 3 fire ones, or I think they got 1 fire portal each here. So both Warlocks taking a lot of damage here, but beautiful crowd control chain initiated here by Echo. Mercy could be in trouble here, Liffy.
Yeah, it's not looking good. There's the Infernal Stun onto the cheap shot. Mercy instantly trinketing that, wanting to counteract the pressure coming in from Chanimal. It's Warlock versus Warlock, the battle for supremacy here in this situation, and Chanimal has to pour it out. Mercy does the very same in the same global. Now the Fears tossed in. Mercy sitting the full one in Houston, struggling to keep his team alive. Beautiful Tremor Totem coming in from both Shamans. It's almost like both teams are mirroring their button presses at the moment. Even the Dark Pacts are synced up. Netherboard is available here for Mercy. Can pop that in a moment, but Chanimal has a precog and is gonna use that for a devastating effect. Mercy dropping down to 20%. The rift is open. He's being dragged down to hell and all the way to it as Limbs can't do anything with the darkness. Echo up 1.
Beautiful Echo just turning on the heat right now here in this grand finals. You could tell Waz, you could see him right there on the camera. This is like, even after they win, he's just like, there's no emotion. He's just like, all right, next game. We need these dubs. We need these dubs, boys. We didn't make finals last week. We got a lot of slack to pick up right now. And Echo, they really heat up the pressure there, and they find that moment. And this is the moment where Mercy actually used his unending resolve here. So they had a really nice CC chain there, and it's still going here onto Houston, the gouge into the lightning lasso right there, forcing out the unending resolve. Then Mercy, nice fake cast there on the kick, gets the
Alright, so
looking for
that was a bloodbath. I don't know if it's a bit of that. I had to AFK for just a second, right but yep.
And then here we can
not
see
a dampening, not a snooze fest.
Allowing them to
very quick
game
here.
So they force out the Dark Pact right there. Then Waz initiates the crowd control here on the Outlaw. Nice cap totem there out of the stun onto Mercy by Lontar. Lontar adding in some damage there with the Lava Burst, but Mercy actually fake cast or reflecting them. Then they get a Fear into a Sap onto Fusedon. And then they get the cheap shot onto Fusedon as well. Mercy actually not playing the Mortal Coil here, by the way. He's playing Howl of Terror. And he's going to send a Howl, but Fusedon's still in that cheap shot for just a split, like a millisecond.
What beats IRLS?
And they do manage to get the kill
it
here
depends.
Echo. 1 minute,
I don't
39
know.
seconds. Honestly, not the comp I
right
expected
now.
them to run with.
They might queue DHDK.
You know, we're starting to see some of that NA
but I'm
meta
curious.
as well coming in here into Europe.
I think we'll
this is the
see.
comp that Void GG runs as well over in NA, which we're going to take a look at a little bit later.
We're gonna see if.
Quite honestly, that's a little
here we
bit
go.
more of what I was
Here we go.
expecting out of
Chibaku
you as
Tensei
well
have been given. So
coming
this right
into
here.
this season, right?
They've been given the chance. We're gonna see what they lock in a second, but they've picked a point and they've just gone with the rogue the outlaw Destro. So we're gonna see Tensei have been given the chance to lock DHDK in the situation on their map. Now my guess is they picked this map because they want to play DHDK. If they don't take it, then there's no advantage comp. They do
what
it. Wait,
Echo was
DH
worried
Warrior
about in the upper bracket finals earlier.
DH Warrior.
Mercy Warrior Demon Hunter duo from Chibaku Tensei and Zico. I think this is gonna be a bloodbath, especially on hook point.
I'm curious
Absolutely.
though.
I mean, this is going to be just insane pressure coming out from Chibaku Tensei.
DH Warrior.
We have seen them, running this Demon Hunter Warrior. Actually, we have seen them run this with.
It's
Druid
possible,
as well,
but I
Chibaku
haven't seen this on
Tensei
ladder be
gonna
played at all.
Opting in for Fusion on the Shaman. Oh, sorry, no, I'm getting them mixed up. It's Lava Lava that runs this with the Druid. Chibaku Tensei.
Lava play this normally. I'm curious.
And this is a great answer, right? And I think this is exactly why Echo are a little bit reluctant to blind locking in that Warlock. Because sure, you're never going to hear me argue when somebody says, oh yeah, mages, they're not that good. Warlock's just a better mage. I mean, I'm just going to be sitting here, it's like, actually, buff mage, give us deep freeze, But
yeah, I don't know for sure.
Bro, not happening.
One can dream.
We may be going here, by the way, in just a second.
For the mage community.
Lava.
This is a situation where the mage actually would be
Echo
better,
wins
right?
this, right? Echo won.
You have those two
Probably,
melees
yes.
who are gonna get uptime onto Chanimal, whereas
I'm
with Raikou,
curious
you
as
would have
to
a much easier time kind of kiting them.
Well, it is the risk of the blind pick comp.
There's
right?
1 minute to this one. I think we're leaving in just a second here, guys. I'm pretty sure the team just logged. Nice, so Sam just logged on WoW, and Chuck is online too.
Serious deciding. We'll see how it plays out. We're on to hook point. 30 seconds until the gates open. Zico, prediction from you here. Chibaku
See how fast
Tensei
this
evening
game
out
ends.
with a melee cleave here.
I think Shibaku Tensei are going to tie us up here, and I think you're absolutely spot on about the fact that Echo won the blind pick, because both of these teams have comps that can beat each other. So I think it's going to be maybe going all the way to Game 7 this finals here. So yeah, I think Shibaku Tensei definitely going to be striking back here on hook point.
All right, let's get it. Let's see who has an ace up their sleeve. But for the moment, it is a blood for the blood god and skulls for the skull throne. And Waz finds a sap onto Houston. Off we go, full fear onto Waz. The counter CC already in. Lontar full feared with the intimidating shout from Mercy. And the infernal rifts are pumping immediately. Lontar down to half, getting focused up quite harshly.
I've enjoyed these watch parties a lot. This is the last one, I suppose.
And he's still not moving his health bar up.
Actually, this is the last one in general.
Coming in from Mercy and Limbs, absolutely insane on the healer.
Yeah, really, really solid pressure here onto Lontar, and with that sap, Echo really hasn't been able to find any defensives just yet. They did, however, force out Houston's trinket there with Waz's blind, but Waz could be in trouble. Lightning Lance coming out. Lontar is there.
We're going to stay into this game, I think, and then we'll head off.
The Earthen Wall Totem got the healing tide down there as
well. So far, it doesn't look that decisive. Worry doing top dam, though, is kind of interesting, right? That's an interesting matchup for that.
What are you going to do?
100k DPS, 2 targets.
Shift there in that
He's
opener
blasting
for that hunt, and he's going to make the trade right here. Pops the Ascendance here as well, but he gets imprisoned on it. They're going to go after Waz here once again on the side of Shibaku Tensei. Lontar using the gateway all the way to the opposite side of hook point, and he's going to be able to free heal there Houston in a kidney shot, but Waz actually wanted to go on Houston there, but no damage to be followed up there from Chan. Now they're going to go after Limbs, and Limbs here going to be taking some damage from the Portal's Mercy in a disarm, going after Chanimal right now on the side of Shibaku Tensei, and I feel like so far pressure-wise, it has been Shibaku Tensei.
A good amount of healing too.
In the lead, and beautiful knock there actually out of the darkness.
Yeah, fantastic static field totem from Lontar. He has been looking insane on the Shaman last weekend already. This weekend also looking clean. But Mercy still has to grab the parry. Sharpened Blade now reconnecting onto Chanimal. He wants to bring some damage to the table. And the Soul Rip coming through, reducing the damage taken, or rather the damage done by Shibaku Tensei here by a good amount. But still, Chanimal is dropping further and further down. He has the free cast with unending resolve. Can just bomb Limbs out of the game for the moment at least. The other Wall Totems are down. Houston in a full hex. Gonna get the heals in just a second. Limbs holding on to that Netherwalk for another moment. Might have to pop it in as he's dropping further and further down. Echo trying to reconnect. Beautiful static field totem, and there's the meta across the map, following up Chanimal, wanting to pressure him in his own back line, but he gets feared on the attempt, backing out once again, connecting onto Waz and looking to put more pressure on the DPS of Echo. A Dark Pact traded. For the moment, it looks like Echo is going to pick up some momentum here.
Oh, Echo are picking up a lot of momentum here onto Mercy, but a beautiful double Chaos Nova there from Limbs. Going to be, alleviating some of that pressure coming out from Echo, and instead it's going to be Chanimal here on the back foot, standing in the Earthen Wall Totem, getting some pressure out here. And I feel like the longer this game continues without Echo, completely panicking and using everything, the better it will be for them, because I think they just need a bit of dampening, get a nice CC chain onto Houston, and then get those portals onto somebody, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Limbs in massive trouble here. How is he going to stay alive? Houston coming in there, but he's, oh my goodness, that beautiful mortal coil, and he's stuck in the nether ward. Beautiful fear coming out there by Chan, but Limbs will recover here using basically every single one he has.
Chan ported 1 inch.
There as well.
He was caught.
Houston, with no trinket. This is exactly what I was
tank
just
a lot of damage that forced the link
on the side of Echo. Try to hold on, try to stay alive, find the CC chain with the portals, and try to close it out. Chanimal
Houston still
fear.
has the link.
Full fear onto Houston. This could be it, dude.
Lem could actually die.
Massive damage coming out here. They got a full hex there onto Houston.
Lontar's dead
limping around the corner, but look at Mercy soloing Lontar right now, and they are going to be able to connect onto Lontar. Trinket on the Chaos Nova, but now they're swapping onto Chanimal. Game is getting increasingly unstable. Waz forced to trade out the Vanish there. Still has the Health Stone. Actually, you have to use the Health Stone there as well. Chanimal now in a lot of trouble here. Cheap shot onto Houston, kidney shot into Limbs. Echo's trying to turn it around. Chanimal, though, absolutely feeling the pressure from Mercy's Blade Storm, and I don't know how Echo are going to be able to stay alive. They have used a lot of cooldowns, and they're going to need to stay alive a lot longer to actually be able to find the kill.
And that's where the communication from Shibaku Tensei is coming in clutch. Earlier, when Limbs was greeting on that Netherwalk, Houston also not popping down that link, and they still have that massive defensive. Meanwhile, Chanimal down to 20%.
Really good time,
he has no wall, the Rip Soul available to himself, but Lontar in a full intimidating shot. There's the coil and the Soul Rip. The poured out barely makes it away, but can they follow up? Mercy sitting in a cheap shot. The relief is brought in by Waz himself. He has an evasion to work with, but can Chanimal survive? The melee cleave is on onto him once again. Can't get the fear through. Double Chaos Nova. Limbs looking to close it out. Chanimal are down to 20% via the evasion from Waz. Can he do
He's not
anything
coming
in
out of
terms of
this
C? Peel Fire Swallow. Tap
Ports.
back to one. Chanimal ports out. Gets the shield maybe for another second.
Is he
He's
gonna
staying alive.
backpack?
Lonta's trying to pump everything he has
It's so
with the
sketchy.
Ancestor Guidance, but it's not
He
really
had
working
to.
out. Chanimal down to 5%, and he's gonna drop. Mercy walking all over the enemy team.
Ooh, Chibaku Tensei tie it all up 1-1 apiece, but this is their
Interesting.
comp pick, this is their map pick. It was, you know,
He
they were
actually
able
did.
to
Chan lived
execute,
really well,
but the road there was not
Do we have a team? Oh, we do. Okay.
100%
All right, guys.
spotless. Echo definitely put up a great fight here, but it is going to be Shibaku Tensei.
He did a good
And,
job.
You know, for
That's good
how
casting, I think.
amazing- I
All
think
right,
this
thanks for
might be
watching,
the
guys. Thank you,
first
How to
time I
Basic.
ever,
Thank you, Newcastle, for the 43 on 3 stuff as well. I will talk to you guys a little bit later on today.
Look at his unending resolve. It's 15 seconds away.
I'm gonna
Animal
host Warcraft,
here
and I'll talk
is
to you guys in a bit.
surviving
Thanks, guys.
through great kiting up until that point, but now they're getting uptime, and then here he ports away, but then he actually goes back out to Mercy here with 3 seconds left on his unending resolve. I feel like maybe staying behind that pillar for just 1 or 2 seconds longer, and then a